Empty streets, quiet roads, headlights fade, town still sleeps. My tired eyes keep on counting marks on the windshield glass. One more song, one more mile. I watched the dark lean on my car, held my breath for the change. When the black gave way so slow, and the sky starts turning a pale gold line. I can feel it moving through the heart of my mind. All night behind me like a weight let go. Still I'm here at the edge of morning. Finally, let's go. Morning takes over. Night, finally, let's go. I can start over. First sun on my hands, first sun on my face. The night finally, let's go. And I'm not afraid. Flashlight on my rings, paper cup half cold, half gone. I was made of fatigue. Now the air feels sharp and clean. Crossing that sleeping bridge, watching windows wake one by one. Something soft in my chest says the hardest part is done. And the sky starts turning that pale gold line. I can feel it moving through the heart of my mind. All night behind me like a weight let go. Still I'm here at the edge of morning. Night, finally, let's go. Morning takes over. Night, finally, let's go. I can start over. First sun on my hands, first sun on my face. The night finally, let's go. And I'm not afraid. Let the dark slip down, let it fade behind. I was lost in the hours, now I'm back in time. One small breath of dawn on this tired road. I can't leave the night here, I can let it go. Night, finally, let's go. Morning takes over. Night, finally, let's go. I can start over. First sun on my hands, first sun on my face. The night finally, let's go. And I'm not afraid. phone face down and it shakes. Whole week stains on my sleeve. Last night thought left red marks. Now the feet won't let me breathe. Names spinning in the comments like coins across the floor. Somebody wants somebody folded. Somebody slammed the door. I saw the headline flash, then I let it pass. Truth moves slow through glass, but it still gets ass. Monday, mayhem. Wake up, it's Monday, mayhem. Monday, mayhem. Wake up, it's Monday, mayhem. Rumors come and go, I let them fade. Screens lit in my dark room with 100 borrowed takes. One post turns to a wildfire, one grin turns into fate. You can crown me, cut me, I keep my name in line. Win or lose, I walk through like I got more to find. I heard the noise get loud and it lost the shape, but they built from smoke. I can't watch it break. Monday, mayhem. Wake up, it's Monday, mayhem. Monday, mayhem. Wake up, it's Monday, mayhem. Rumors come and go, I let them fade. Let them trade the stories, let them spin that wheel. I've been through the pressure, I know what is real. Morning hits the glass and the whole room changes. Still I keep my calm through the Monday mayhem. Monday mayhem. Wake up, it's Monday mayhem. Monday mayhem. Wake up, it's Monday mayhem. Rumors come and go, I let them fade. I was lost in the gray, hands full of broken time. Every thought in a cage, every breath in a line. I kept falling through static, kept my face to the ground. Then a small thread of gold started pulling me out. Slowly, the haze starts to bend. Hold me closer, I can't feel the end of the panic, of the noise in my skin. Something open is calling me in. Break through dawn, I can feel it now. Break through dawn, I'm coming up somehow. Hands up, I'm alive, rise up, I'm alive. From the dark to the sky, break through dawn. feel it now. Break through dawn, break through dawn. I'm coming up somehow. Hands up, I'm alive. Rise up, I'm alive. From the dark to the sky. Break through dawn. And if I shake, let me shake. I'm not afraid, I'm awake. Every scar, every flame made a path, made my name. I found my way. I'm here to stay. Break through dawn, break through dawn. We can feel it now. Break through dawn, break through dawn. Lift it up, let it out. Hands up, we're alive. Rise up, I'm alive. From the dark to the sky. Break through dawn. Break through dawn. Break through dawn. Break through dawn.
Late night, same blood, same blue flame on the glass top. Same prayers that I fall off. Wake up to the ash on the nightstand. Phone full of deaths and a dry plan. Mama in my ear say she's still fasting, but I keep chasing slow death, fast cash. Bad habits, whole life in a dime bag. Ziplock, whole soul in a handshake. Quick swap, every corner got a ghost that I kicked out. Every mirror show a face I can't fix now. Living in a dolphin's paradise. Trade my sleep for another high. Say I'm leaving but I hate goodbye. So I stay one more time. Looking for heaven in this cheap delight. Selling my days for a borrowed night. Every hit feel like rolling dice. And in this dolphin's paradise. Got a boy, he was captain of the backseat. Now he pawning all the trophies for a half week. Sister used to sing the choir on the back pew. Now she got a lighter where the bag drew. We all say last time in the same tone. We all bleed slow in the same home. Dealing on our birthdays, our first names. Whole block baptized in the worst flame. Living in a dolphin's paradise. Trade my sleep for another high. Say I'm leaving but I hate goodbye. So I stay one more time. Looking for heaven and in this cheap delight. Selling my days for a borrowed night. Every hit feel like rolling dice. And it's dolphin's paradise. If I crawl out, will the sky fall? If I come clean, will you take my call? I've been praying to an empty wall, but I still hear something saying you're living in a dolphin's paradise. Trade your sleep for another high. Say you're leaving but you hate goodbye. So you stay one more time. Looking for heaven in this cheap delight. Selling your days for a borrowed night. Every hit feel like rolling dice. And it's dolphin's paradise. Dolphin's paradise.
They said I would fold, I kept my face cold. You saw the cracks, yeah, I turned them to gold. Same old talks, same dead eyes. I let it rain down and I watched it rise. I've been through the doubt, I've been through the heat. Still got my name out, still got my feet. You can keep your smoke, keep your little noise. I know who I am, I know my voice. Block the noise, block the noise. I don't hear you now. Block the noise, block the noise, block the noise. I came too far to live in your doubt. You down. Now the phone don't stop, now the room feels full. Funny how they love you when the line goes gold. You try to write my ending, try to dim my light, but I kept my hands clean and I kept my sight. I've been through the doubt, I've been through the heat. Still got my name out, still got my feet. You can keep your smoke, keep your little noise. I know who I am, I know my voice. Block the noise, block the noise. I don't hear you now. Block the noise, block the noise, block the noise. I came too far to live in your doubt. Had to take the long road, had to take my time. Every score I carry, proof I made it mine. Now they wanna see, now they wanna taste. I was built from silence, then I found my pace. I don't hear you now. Block the noise, block the noise, block the noise. I came too far to live in your doubt. Your doubt.
Yeah. 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 Pulled to the shoulder, lying in the dust. Pocket dice in the ashtray, plans in the rust. Phone on silent, call stack up high. You said one quick roll, and that was that. Booked 3 meetings, missed all 3. Roster got ghosts where the client should be. I watched you lean back, grin through wide, while a good young deal said that outside. You said, hold up, hold up. Key still in the wheel. Just one more shake up, like that's a business deal. Pocket dice, right there on the shoulder line. Pocket dice, you let the whole thing slide. Pocket dice, while the future waited by. Pocket dice, and the day just drove on by. Artist on red with a demo file. You were betting nickels like it's worth your while. Press release folded in the cup, oh the seam. Looking for a win in a broken down dream. Manager talk all sharp, all neat, but you were chasing luck in the folding seat. Dribble rig hustle, bad little thrill. 2 tiny cubes in a bigger bill. You said, hold up, let the dice fall clean. Just one more shake up before the next KPI. Pocket dice, right there on the shoulder line. Pocket dice, you let the whole thing slide. Pocket dice, while the future waited by. Pocket dice, and the day just drove on by. Now the phone keeps ringing in the glove box dark. A missed call blinking like a parking ticket mark. One more toss and the whole thing trip. Dreams don't sign themselves in the moment slip. Pocket dice, right there on the shoulder line. Pocket dice, you
let the whole thing slide. Pocket dice, while the future waited by. Pocket dice, and the day just drove on by.
What up? I'm here. Sorry for the lateness. I was trying to time it out perfectly. I'm about to sit down in like 2 minutes. Give me about 2 more minutes. Really want to move a mountain to it is crazy. What up, y'all? What up? If you're listening to that, excuse me. I might have to pause myself a few more times than usual. I didn't get to make my tea this time. I know tea sounds kind of Pride Month, and shout out to everybody who's doing the Jack100 dance. Well, please don't do no Jack100 activities are allowed to my voice. That is banned. Okay. But shout out to that song. Shout out to that song. If you're on your way to work, my West Coast people, if you're driving down that freeway, do not forget to pull to the side of the road if you're gonna do the Jack100 challenge. All right. So yeah, shout out to that song. I really wanted to come in right after that, but I was procuring a bowl of cereal. You know what I'm saying? So we are gonna get into it. I'm gonna eat some cereal while we get into it, but I won't give y'all the what is that shit called, a mukbang. I'm not gonna do that. what we are gonna do. So let's get through this rundown so we know what's on the agenda. And also, speaking of agendas, I think I have a new format for this Wednesday shit. At least while the NBA finals are still going. I know a lot of you guys don't care about sports, or at least sports from from me on this channel. So that's why at the no cereal with water, no almond milk, unsweetened. Uh, hey man, I was making more than cereal. I had to feed the dogs, otherwise they would interrupt the stream. I had to go out there and whatever. But this is the first time we're actually doing the time that I want, which is 6 a.m. A true wake up show. Well, 6 a.m. On the West Coast. East Coast folks, y'all ahead of us. And what like Texas and Midwest is ahead of us too. But a true wake up show. If you're unemployed on the East Coast, it's still a wake up show for you. I know I wasn't getting up before 9 or 10 a.m. when I was unemployed. And I was firing up that 2K, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to you if you're listening to this while you're on your Xbox or PlayStation. Um, let's see. So the lineup though. So this one I have it kind of separated where I have some topics that are gonna be for the night stream. So if you're interested in a night show, I do a night show as well. Accidentally on Mondays and Wednesdays. Uh, didn't mean to. Didn't mean to, but yeah. What up? What up? Yeah, that's fire. See, we got Ohio in here, Texas in here. I'm sure we got some East Coast people. $5 holla love from Texas. Shout out to Texas. Let me make sure I acknowledge this brother's name with the super chat. La Flame Blanca. Shout out to you. I appreciate the super chat. Florida too. Yep. Shout out to all the Florida people. But yeah, so the night stream is gonna have like more like the interview. I'm gonna cover some interviews tonight. I want to watch that Adrian Broner interview. I'm not gonna watch the whole interview on stream. That'd be janky. But I'm gonna pick some moments out from that throughout the day to revisit on stream. Dame Dash responds to Jay-Z. Now, mind you, this is what we're covering tonight, not on this thumbnail. 619 in the building. Shout out to San Diego. Nebraska. Shout out to Nebraska. Chicago, Illinois. Let's go. Chicago in the chat. Baltimore in the chat. All right, we're diverse. Toronto in here too. Okay. Murderwood, Texas. Is that a real name? That's a real city? Shout out to Murderwood, Texas. They knew what they was doing when they named it there. Seattle in here. Shout out to Seattle. I want to visit Seattle. I've never been up there, but that shit, it looks kind of nice. I don't mind a rainy day, a gloomy day. I might have to go catch a Seahawks game or something. That'd be fire. Be a part of the 12s for a second. No police shit. Just be a part of the 12s. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout out to Tulsa. All right, we're diverse as hell in here. I didn't know we was this diverse. That's what's up. Oakland. Shout out to Oakland. I went to some of the final days of the Raiders being at the Oakland Coliseum. I went to like 3 games that season. One of them being against the San Diego Chargers. Phillip Rivers, he paid the refs off that game that I was there. I remember that. That boy threw about 6 interceptions, and they all got called back with BS penalties. Niggas was ready to riot. I ain't gonna lie. DMV, shout out to the DMV. Good old LA. Shout out to LA. Jerem's bedroom for show messy. I don't know what triggered that, but you might be onto something. Yep, good Cali. Good Cali. All right, we done damn near got a geographical roll call off. All right, I'm fucking with it. Yeah, Raiders gone but not forgotten. It's still the Raiders, you know. I think I'm gonna have to push up to Vegas and catch me a game this season too. For sure, gonna have to do that. I might have to get some. I'll get some sports book. I don't really gamble like that. I mess around with roulette a little bit, but aside from that, I don't really gamble other than on sports. So if I go up to Vegas this upcoming season, I might get a little meta glasses vlog off. You feel me? I got the metas because of Munchie B. But yeah, on the night show, other than the Dame Dash interview where he's gonna clap back at Jay-Z, I would pass. I would pass. I don't know how y'all feel about it. Um, Other than that, I have one more interview lined up for now. That well, not an interview, it's a podcast where Jaleese, she went on 607 Unc's platform again. Mind you, like a day or two after the phone call where she got cussed out by Munchie B, she went on there and said, Dragon Knight Crip taking notes is crazy. She went on there and said that she never said that she was, you know what I mean, assaulted by Skinny from the Nine. So she's on 607 Unc shit retracting everything. So I'm gonna cover that stuff tonight. But for this morning, for the morning show, which I don't think any of the morning shows have hit the 3 hour mark. So that's also why I'm starting this right now, because I have some things to do later on this morning. Some father duties to do later on this morning. So we're getting this out the way now. Good 6 a.m. start time. It looks like we're starting at 6:20. As far as getting the this is the rolled up episode because we got the first no jumper roll up. We've had plenty of markouts in no jumper history. Countless markouts have happened in no jumper history. I think J-Hood, via his love for Jack100, he orchestrated, I think on accident, the first roll up. All right, he done rolled Spody off the pod, and we're not talking about prison, but it was like a prison episode. It was like watching 60 Days In last Tuesday, right? But that has led to this whole other fallout of events that now has Spody crashing out. I would say he's crashing out as of yesterday. All right, so this whole saga that actually concluded. I haven't even got a chance to watch it or add it to the playlist, but Spody did an interview after his 10-hour crash out. He did an interview with Rich Trapper to cap off the day. Like at the end of the day, he did. That's how he ended his day. Excuse me. Still gotta clear my throat. Y'all might think it's a little Pride Month to drink tea. I got my good coffee with me too, but I didn't get to make my tea today, so my throat's a little dry or whatever. So I got to get acclimated to doing this without the tea. The one I use, pause, is throat coat tea. Throat coat tea is good if you're about to talk for a cool minute, cause it's just good. It's like stretching before sports. But I didn't get to stretch today. He ain't stretched though. He ain't even stretched though. But luckily I got the mute button, so y'all don't gotta hear me doing the Young and Hefe. I guess people clarified in the comments of that video that Young and Hefe was spitting into his kitchen sink. On a side note, I think that's still pretty grimy. It's not as grimy as spitting on the floor, but that's still pretty crazy. I think you should, in those Western movies and shit, they used to have the spit jar at the bar. All you gotta do is go to Dollar Tree, buy an ice bucket. Like what hotels they be having the little bucket, and you can put the ice from the, if you go in the main hallway, they got the ice makers kind of throughout the hotels, and you fill up your ice bucket for your room, and you can put your drinks on ice that way, right? And it gets the wine cold fast and shit. You could just have a little spit jar next to you. That's a lot more civil than spitting in your sink, where some niggas season their chicken. I don't season chicken in my sink, but shout out to Yada Mean with the with the re-up on the membership. That's top mod. If y'all want a mod, it must be approved by Yada Mean from this point forward. You feel me? because we do have a lot of mods. And now we got 5 gifted memberships from Yada Me. Shout out to Yada. The Spit Platoon, right? Shit, no, nothing's $1 no more. You got to go there with about $2. You gonna leave with a little bit of change, and you can't do really anything with that change, but throw it in the cup holder. But yeah, get you a spit jar, man. If you doing the Young and Hefe challenge. But shout out to Young and Hefe, free him maybe if deserved. But yeah, yeah. W Big Yada, facts. All right, so Spody's crashing out it's tied to the J Hood situation. It's tied to him essentially getting rolled up off the podcast. For those that don't know, the prison terminology of rolled up off the pod is basically like if you're on a certain floor, a certain module, it could be in the jail or a prison. If you're on a certain floor and you got problems with, maybe whoever's in charge on that floor or just the big dog of that floor, or maybe you're a thief, or there's all types of reasons why people get rolled up. You could be Pride Month, all types of things, right? And they're like, we ain't going for that on this floor. You kind of get voted off the island survivor style, where it's like going in and ask for the guards to remove you from here, or you're gonna have to run quite a few fades or possibly even get jumped, right? I learned it all from 60 Days In. I ain't never been there. I got family members that been there and shit like that, but I'm not asking them niggas in detail, teach me everything about prison. Like, what? That's weird. Yeah, rolled up off the pod. So Spody Face essentially got rolled up off the pod. Munchie B essentially quit because he doesn't feel safe up there, basically, right? They're exposing what's between his waistline, and that rubbed him the wrong way in the moment. But the bigger issue is that Poetic Bison had been saying he was going to call the police up there on Munchie about 2 months ago, right? When they started beefing with each other, then the video of Bison being naked in the computer chair and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a great TV show, right? Wonder if there's any new seasons. I haven't really tapped in with them in a minute. But yeah, so Spody's drama has led to Compton Rick Rock seemingly sneak dissing Spody and some other people from the No Jumper universe. I believe Compton Rick Rock is friends with Jack100 to some degree. I'm not sure. So it's kind of like related beef on that end. Pause. But then you have Spody scheduling fades off of watching a Compton Rick Rock video from what I think is now 2 days ago. But we're gonna watch the Compton Rick Rock video first, and then we're gonna watch Spody respond to this video that's on the screen right here. This video is called "All Y'all Is Busters and Marks That's Only Gonna Act Tough Online." All right, so Compton Rick Rock, he's choosing violence to some degree. You know what I'm saying? He's choosing violence. He's calling out whoever all y'all is. He's gonna clarify who that is in the video. And then Spody's going to respond to that. After Spody responds, Rick Rock responds, and he's going to say that Spody is about to call the police on him just like he did the Young and Hefe. So, too bad I can't comment on what. But yeah, so Rick Rock, I guess after this first back and forth, he's going to start trolling. And Spody, though, he seemed very serious, and he's going to end up pulling up to Compton Rick Rock's hood asking for a fade. And he basically vlogged his experience. So we're getting into that. I'm going to get into the problem I have with Spody doing that as well. And then we're going to get into the J Hood and what's her name? Chunky Barbie. They're on the Tuesday show with Ricky, Lush, and Adam 22. We're going to get into some timestamps from the Tuesday show after this Spody drama. because the Tuesday show is obviously where this drama really has derived from. And then to close it out, we'll get into a little bit of the Flocko versus Munchie, narrative. And then after we get through that, after the Tuesday show stuff, we're gonna get to Blueface accidentally exposing a major whack 100 lie, allegedly, right? So, that's gonna be a narrative for Jack100 to address, I'm sure, tomorrow, and aired for everybody on Sunday. I will check my DMs at some point during the show, Yada. Thank you for the heads up. All right. So, without further ado, let's get into this first clip.
All right, let's talk about it. I'm watching Spody live last night, right? And I just be clowning with you cats, bruh. I be having fun with y'all. I do things on purpose to get y'all to talk because a lot of y'all is emotional. Y'all not focused on no bread, man. Y'all only focused on getting on here and acting like y'all got a problem with somebody. Yeah, acting like y'all got a problem with a person. See, when I'm on here, I'm Compton Rick Rock. I don't too much care about these videos. I cover them down the middle, have fun. I do certain things on purpose to make certain people mad and get them talking and get them saying things. And it works in my favor. Why you think I'm where I'm at doing this stuff? Y'all still playing catch up. A lot of y'all still playing catch up. And really, some of the stuff that's made and how it's done come from me. Yeah, I'm the blueprint to a lot. Now, I seen other dudes doing reactions before I came in the game, but they wasn't doing it how it's done now. Yeah, I got something to do with a lot of that, but that's all cool. I ain't tripping off that. But when I look at these guys on here, man, and all they talk about is who they got problems with and who they beef with, and it's a video. It ain't no action. It's always a video loaded up day after day after day after day, and none of you niggas ain't doing shit but running y'all mouth. That's it. So when I see...
All right, so as I eat my soggy cereal, I'm catching that he's saying a lot of these dudes are doing reactions now, and that he's one of the OGs of the street dude reactions. I don't know if you ever had a videos from the car era, but I know he did have early Crip Mac content. Remember when Adam and Wack were arguing about who discovered Crip Mac first? Compton Rick Rock was like a key point in that. But so, I don't think he's claiming he started reaction channels. I think he's saying his style of reactions. I refer to it as the Bosco 100 style, right? Because that's where I first seen street dudes hopping on well, in his case Instagram, but just hopping on live or hopping on a pre-recorded and just reacting to street issues and calling people busters, calling out fades and things like that. I've always kind of said that's Channel 5 found Crip Mac interesting. I've always said that's more of a Bosco 100 originated that style, but I don't know who really originated it. But Bosco was definitely the first to really go like stupid viral. Damn near every morning he was going viral with his live streams. It was must watch in his prime, But Compton Rick Rock, his channel I think is pretty old, so he probably was doing something similar on YouTube for a cool minute. He's looking at Young Aunt Hefe. He's looking at Spody Face. Munchie B is more of an organized podcaster. He does his monologue thing on his channel as well, but he also does interviews and stuff. He's more formal, I would say. He's not just sitting in his living room like we see here. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But he goes to like a studio and stuff and does the thing. But he's saying he paved the way for the Spodies of the world. Oh shit! I'm supposed to be screen recording this as well. Hold on. I'll have to do a new intro if I make this into a video. But that's something I'm trying to do. Is all my segments on the live show should be able to be a video that's posted on Thursdays and Fridays, Saturday, Sunday type of thing. But anyways, um, he's saying he's the OG of this shit, and y'all niggas is lame. Basically, not even pay me my respect, but he's like, I'm the OG of this content style, and I don't rock with none of these new dudes. And I guess it's gonna get to a no jumper point, but really, it's more like if the shoe fits, wear it type of situation. I'm not sure if he's gonna name anybody in this video or name no jumper in particular. He's just getting some shit off his chest. Really, is what it seemed like.
See y'all doing that. I just play off y'all. What y'all got going on, stir the pot up a little bit, and it works. Maybe y'all should take heed, right? Now, there is certain people I've been knowing before the internet. And I know that certain people play y'all on the internet because most of the time I sit back and laugh. I know exactly how these plays gonna work. Ask me how I know. Y'all don't get it, right? So watch this. For instance, for the people that got problems with people, I ain't got to say no names. Y'all should know what I'm talking about. For the people that got problems with people, and y'all work in the same building, the same place.
Bingo.
Y'all know what time each one of y'all come to work. Each one of y'all. But ain't doing nothing about it. But get your ass on here and make another video. That's a buster. A mark. This Rick Rock talking now. This ain't Compton Rick Rock. You a buster. Y'all busters. Because if you really got a problem with somebody, some real problems to where it's interfering with your life, it's really bothering you, go do something. Yeah, go do something. If you really got a problem with somebody, go do it. Don't get on here and load up no video, because now I'm going to believe that you a content creator and I'm going to do a reaction off your video. And I'm a play along with this game that y'all play along with, because there's a lot of things I really want to say when I do these reaction videos. I hold.
Well, that's kind of fair, right? That's fair. That's why really the confrontation started with J Hood saying y'all got studio beef. And basically they could have just left it at y'all got studio beef. You and Wack ain't really at it with each other. Y'all don't really hate each other like that. I guess it's been clarified that some of the words have been traded in the studio beef has crossed the line. So that's why Spody is up. He says is up with Wack and it's stuck. But that's a valid point. If you're uploading a video to 5 videos a day at any given moment on any given, drama or conflict, that is content creating. If you're gonna really go and get violent about something, is now, there might be some Lil Vaughn type of YouTubers and stuff like that. I won't put it past nobody, but it's probably not a good idea to make a YouTube video talking about somebody and then going and meeting up to die right after, right? You should probably keep that off of the reaction channels, off of the commentary channels. And that's basically his point right there. But let's see. Excuse me. Because it seems like it's about to evolve into some more shit.
Back on a lot of stuff because it ain't that serious. At the end of the day, once I turn this stuff off, I already know what my assignment was: to get on here, make a little sense of what y'all talking about, do a little corrective that I see wrong, just my opinion, and I'm done with it. But when y'all get on here, y'all talking about people mama, what y'all gonna do, y'all calling people busters, B words, and y'all know what dudes hang out at. And y'all ain't gonna do nothing about it. Nothing but run your mouth and make a video and look soft just like you is. Soft. And then talking about, I wanna go get a fade, let's go in here and get a bag. You can get a bag, all right, a body bag. If you're really serious about what you're talking about, you'll go handle your business. Squabble it out, load your thing up, pop it out, whatever you want to do. Go do it. But y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all gonna do nothing but run your mouth, get on here and talk. So when you say my lane last night, and I heard it, you don't know what's going on this side of the board. Only thing you see is Rick Rock make content on dom moves and keyways. No, I make content on you internet dom moves and you internet keyway. Cause I know a bunch of y'all is bitches and ain't gonna do nothing. That's why I do it. Cause when I go out there in the real world, in the real streets and go see the real G's and the real gangsters and the real niggas, I don't have no problem with them. What's up, cuz? What's up, Rick Rock? What's up, blood? What's up, homie? That's it. It be you internet dudes who I get on here and laugh at and clown at and take as a joke, because you niggas is busters.
All right. Well, the title and the video match up. I would assume this is where, Blueface takes this personally, right? And so he does respond. Let me make sure it's his video. That's okay. My playlist is a little out of sync. I could adjust it right here. Where's the Spody video? Hold on. I'm gonna confirm on my phone that Spody didn't delete one of the videos, because I think that might be why my playlist is appearing to be out of sync before we go on to the next video. Give me 1 second. One second. Yeah, Spody pulled up. He pulled up over there to Compton Rick Rock's city, to his section. But I got to confirm that the playlist is still in order, because I don't think it's supposed to be. Yeah, I think he got rid of the video, or I accidentally deleted it from the playlist. So hold on. One unavailable video is hidden. Oh, that's unfortunate. So Spody's video where his original response to this, that video is hidden. So that we gotta hurry up and get to the Spody content before he hides the other one. But that leads me to my point anyway, is that, if Spody's out here hiding a video where he's calling out somebody, and I'll just have to summarize it now. Spody said that he's gonna pull up to Compton Rick Rock's hood and he wants to fade, right? And he sounded very mad. It didn't sound like a Blueface lie, a Blueface play for clicks and views. You could tell he was actually upset in that video that was supposed to play next. But yeah, he said he wants to run the fade. And the contradiction that I was gonna point out after playing the now hidden Blueface video, deleting the video lets us know all we need to know, honestly, right? He knows he was in the wrong to some capacity. And the reason why I say that is because on one end, Blueface is Mr. Push Peace. Now, if somebody calls you out for the fade at work, like the J Hood situation, you guys step out, and I guess they had a heated conversation that eventually was settled, and they went and obviously did a full podcast together after. Regardless if they fought or not, they did a full podcast after, right? So, in J Hood on the No Jumper show yesterday, he was kind of like on the angle of like, dang, I didn't really want these dudes to quit. He wanted to pod with them still. He's open to podding with Munchie and Spody. But yeah, so Spody pulled up, but before he pulled up, Rick Rock says Blueface alerts the police on Compton Rick Rock. He's trying to get me in jail like Aunt Hefe. So now I feel like he's trolling a little bit, probably, right? With the Aunt Hefe jab. Like, we know Spody didn't get Aunt in locked up, but yeah, man, Spody deleting that video is crazy. That trims down the content that we had lined up by one whole video. Ain't that something? I wonder if he's going to speak on that, or maybe he already did in the Rich Trapper interview. He probably acknowledged that he was tripping.
The art.
But oh yeah, about him tripping, it's a contradiction because remember when he quit No Jumper, he said in his original I Quit No Jumper video that it's becoming too much like the streets. I'm doing podcasting to leave the streets, but you got street politic type of things, jailhouse style fades basically damn near took place up at No Jumper. So if you quit No Jumper because it's too much like the streets, why are you turning your personal YouTube channel into something that is resembling the street life? Blueface literally is gonna walk this man's block on camera looking for a fade. And the video that sets up him walking this man's block looking for a fade, he said, I'm gonna tap in with someone. He named like 10 dudes. He's like, I know so-and-so from over there. I know so-and-so. I'm gonna check in with them and I'm gonna pull up. And we're gonna run this fade. That sounds like jailhouse politics to me. That sounds like street politics to me. So which one is it, man? That's, you know, Spody, he's trying to change himself, to be fair. He's only been a free man for a few months at the end of the day. So sometimes he finds himself stuck in the middle between right and wrong. The old him and the new him is what it seems like. And periodically he's has these moments where if you watch his channel, he be talking like he's ready to go back to the old him. And then he has to, you know, go through his teachings and calm himself back down. That's what it seems like to me from watching from afar. And yesterday, Spody was ready to go back to what got him locked up in the first place. All right? That's what I think. And that's probably why he deleted that video, because, you know, that represents what you're supposedly against now, which is, you know, facilitating phase that you organized on a YouTube video.
War, good book. Y'all should go grab that. Well, I got a reaction that I want to do. What time is it? The time is 3:13. I think I was supposed to be somewhere at 3 o'clock. I'm not for sure. Let's get over here and check this out. Oh, man, this dude got the same stuff I got on. Dang, great minds think alike. Let's check it out.
We on our quest to 50,000 subs. We halfway there. I need y'all continue to boost my subs, man, and hype my videos.
I think this is the deleted video anyways. So that works out. And he's trolling. He said, I'm gonna put on the same fit. He put on his glasses and stuff too. He found his Spody glasses. I see what he doing.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I've been seeing all the love, man. Y'all been taking me to the top, whether it's been love or it's been hate. You know,
man, get to the content. God, what's the name of this? Blueface, Valet, Compton, Rick Rock. Get to it.
Yep, this is the deleted one. And shout out, same vibes. If y'all was in one of the night streams, you know, I had to skim through 21 minutes of an hour-long video just for Spody to even get to talking about what he's supposed to be talking about. All right? Not 20 minutes of load screen that you can see when you're scrubbing and clearly just get to where that's no longer on the screen, like on my live stream here, where we're trying to present an organized show. I said the show starts at 6 a.m. I started the 21-minute playlist around 5:40 something, all right? So that is done around the time that the content's supposed to start, okay? Spody, he be out here, he's doing, I don't know how to even explain it. He is the load screen. He be loading it up in his brain for a quarter of the content. Get to the content is facts with this dude, man. Shit is crazy.
Ooh, they want to hear the content, man. They don't want to see all this. Get to
y'all been messing with me, man. I appreciate all the interaction. I truly do. So again, if you ain't already like, comment, and subscribe to my page, make sure you do so. Also hit that notification bell so anything that I drop, man, y'all get it here first, especially when I go lives and I come do these fire reactions or I just drop some game and some gems on you guys, man. Again, I appreciate all the love. And today the content.
The content, yes. Get to it, nigga. He still ain't to it.
is no other than Compton Rick Rock.
Now, yeah, facts. He's using the Young and Hefe template. You know, someone said in the chat he's using the Hefe template, but Young and Hefe is technically a bad content creator, but he's so bad at it that it's entertaining. So he's a good content creator. He's organically being himself, messing up words, and all the other Hefe-isms that come with watching his content makes it entertaining. He's not trying to be entertaining. He's not like naturally entertaining. It's one of those things where it's like he's kind of so far off of what a polished content creator would appear like and present like, that it's its own type of funny in itself.
Compton Rick Rock. A video was sent to me. You didn't say no names. You was beating around the bush. You was throwing out all type of subs and stuff like that. But we all know who you was talking about, or one of the people that you was talking about. And it was me. So congratulations. Now you got my attention. You've been running content on my name for months now, saying little slick stuff. I never responded. I never reacted. Throwing little jabs here and there. I never reacted. You wonder why? Do you wonder why I never reacted, Compton Rick Rock? Because I actually messed.
You never reacted because you wasn't doing no views now. You wasn't doing no views back then. Ever since J Hood whooped your ass at the little no jumper, now you got views. So this is the perfect time to do it. Perfect time. And thank you for sending these people my way. I'm loving it. Let me continue now.
With your homies. I got love and respect for the nutties.
I got love and respect for your homies. I got a text from somebody very close to you that let me know you got that ass whooped over there. Let me get back to this though.
Them are my bros. It's like a third home to me. Clearly you don't know who I am in the relationship that I have over in your hood. I be in your hood all the time.
Quite obviously you don't you don't know. You don't know. It gets real tricky. I'm let you go. See, this is why y'all gotta read, man. You gotta read, man. You'll get it. You'll get it. Let me just get back to it.
All the time. I have all type of stuff on you. I never wanted to go at you, bro, out of the love and respect that I got for the real nutties. But since you want to try to make me comment, you know what I'm saying, content, you want to call me out my name, which was unprovoked, let's get into it.
Unprovoked, not provoked, provoked, unprovoked.
So let's talk about Compton Rick Rock highlight. You're not even no Crip. You're not even no Keyway.
Facts. As I cough again, Blueface does always sound like he got something in his throat. He needs that throat coat tea. Pause. He need to drink tea before he hops on this motherfucking iPhone 5C.
You walk around, you get on this YouTube and you portray to the streets like you some type of OG or you an OG Keyway. You're not none of that. You're the same person online that was on YouTube that threw your rag in the trash. You threw your blue flag in the trash and said you were dumb.
Man, what the? If it was on YouTube, where the video at? See? You got to have proof. That would have been all on the internet. Everybody would have seen that, how much all the people I didn't got it to.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into, who threw their flag away or not, but I think someone would still have a clip of that even if the video was deleted. Just like how there's a clip of this deleted Blueface video. I wonder why he deleted that video now after pulling up to Compton Rick Rock's hood. Maybe he was told to take this one right here that you see on the left, take it down, because you saying that he threw away his blue rag on video and set it on fire or some wild shit. And then right here he's gonna attack his Compton Rick Rock's entire street credibility and say that he's not even from nowhere no more or something.
Got into it with. I am one of the top guys on here that do this reaction stuff. Yeah, y'all remember, you following my blueprint now. You following Compton Rick Rock. I know exactly what to do to trigger you new guys to come on here. That would have been on here, man. You got to have facts. You keep on saying this is fact, but you ain't showing no facts.
Done. So when it comes to game politics or keyways or anything like that, I'm gonna need you to fall back. Keep Crip out your chops.
You definitely won't hear me
Straight
saying
like that.
You definitely won't hear me saying it on here. Man, what the You the only fool that get on here and let the police, like you're doing right now. I told y'all yesterday, all these dudes gonna do is load up another video. Right? I guess the pressure then came down on your homies. You've been getting your ass whooped at no jumper. You've been getting DP'd in your neighborhood. They say, man, we can't take no more of this. We can't take no more of this. You getting your ass whooped. You getting DP'd.
I'm not even gonna get into all that. We're gonna get to the next video in the lineup, but before I do want to say, leading back to my original point of pointing out the contradictions of Blueface, you damn near gangbanging in this video. You're making gangbang content. Like, is this what Spody's moving like without no jumper? To where you're calling out, saying that he's no longer this or that. It doesn't seem like that should be brought to YouTube if you're supposed to be the activist pushing peace. How you gonna go and talk to the kids on a Monday and say stay out the streets, it's not worth it, which I support that message. Find another path, go to trade school, whatever they teach you in the gang prevention classes. How you gonna push those messages on Monday, and then on Tuesday hop on here and tell somebody they ain't even cripping like that, and they burn their rag, and I'm pulling up to your city to catch a fade? Nigga, that's gangbanging. Like that 1, 2, 3, that is gangbanging. So this nigga's a Kendrick Lamar song in real time. Blueface is. He's literally a Kendrick Lamar song. He's conflicted. All right? He is very conflicted. He's not sure which path he wants to be on. We got to get to this Blueface video before he deletes this one too. So this here is him now. I guess he just hopped out the whip and he's in Compton Rick Rock's section. In the video that Rick Rock was reacting to that we just seen right there, he eventually says, I know, little so-and-so and so-and-so, about 10 different names that I don't think any of them people make content, but I guess they were cool with him saying their hood names on content. But he said about 10 different names and said, I'm about to tap in with them and I'm going to pull up and we're going to run a fade. So this video by Blueface is called Blueface Pulled Up on Rick Rock. He was nowhere to be found. Now, before I even press play, this reminds me of, remember when 4 Extra got into it with King Pill? They were doing content back and forth. They were supposed to maybe box, but 4 Extra said King Pill's not a known enough name to box him. So King Pill took it upon himself to go, I guess he wasn't even really in 4 Extra section like that, but he went somewhere and flashed a weapon on the video and was saying 4 Extra come outside type of thing. Blueface sat here. I don't think he's gonna flash a weapon. That would be really dumb, right? Especially since that's what he's complaining about. Adam talking about him supposedly having a weapon that he put in his trunk. But he's gonna pull up to someone's city looking for violence. Fist on fist, a fade versus looking for a shootout. I'm sure we'd rather people run a fade over a shootout, even though a fade can still lead to you going to prison. You could still accidentally catch a body catching a fade and things like that. But yeah, it's better than shooting it out. There's less risk involved, especially for people in the surrounding area. Less innocent bystanders get hurt when someone catches a fade, right? But it's still again the contradiction in the message. Are you done with the street life or not? This is something I would expect to see from somebody that's under the age of 25. You know what I'm saying? Like you're on a good run right now, Spody Face. Spody Face's channel is going up because of the drama. Everybody wants to maybe hear a story about what happened with the fade at No Jumper. Everybody wants to hear I quit No Jumper video and why you quit No Jumper, right? And you got a stimulus package right now, but then you choose to do this. This feels like a step in the wrong direction.
Rick Walk, where you at, cuz?
I got the ice cream truck.
You thought a
playing
nigga
and
was
shit.
playing? Dead homies.
See, no, this is crazy. Rick Walk, where you at? You thought we was playing? This nigga, like you pulling up all WWE, ready to get busy. You're supposed to be Mr. Pushing Peace. You the guy with glasses.
I'm right here on the with the cribs on your block. On your block.
Walking backwards and shit. Let the kids get their ice cream, Spody. Y'all hear the ice cream truck in the back. Let the kids get their ice cream without having to possibly see some violence. Like he done hunted out some graffiti and everything just to make it all the way abundantly clear. Come on, man.
Go down here. Yeah, homies, I'm waiting on you. Been waiting on you. This the G's, right? 40 Crips. Shout out to my niggas from Nutty, bro. Shout out to my niggas from Nutty, bro. It's my niggas.
Now that's funny. In the chat, Black Jesus said he knew that Rick Rock would be around the ice cream truck. That's crazy. Next stop is the food truck. Niggas got to stop going to the food trucks. A lot of the food trucks be on DoorDash and Uber Eats nowadays. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. I want to see just how much walking does Spody do? Is he making his way downtown, or did he kind of just walk down one part, like half a block and then turn back around? He's throwing. Oh shit! This nigga's gang banging on camera. But this is gang prevention. This is gang prevention. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie. Jack100 is gonna have a field day with this. Jack100 is going to have a field day with this. He might have to recline his seat in the parking lot just to calm down before hopping on the mic on Thursday. You already know he rubbing his hands to this one and probably some more shit.
That's why I'm doing this. Make good, 40s, and Nutty. Not from New York, where you rock our NYs. Nigga rock the same hats y'all niggas. These my niggas over here. Yeah, homies. I left my wallet in the car. I'm about to go get something. I'm about to buy something off the ice cream truck. It's homies. Yankee Stadium. Dead homies. Grannies. Dead homies. Yankee Stadium.
This nigga doing a whole Grand Theft Auto like San Andreas mission. He doing a whole GTA mission. You supposed to be podcasting, Spody. This is why he quit No Jumper. You quit No Jumper because it's becoming too street. Now look at you. Nigga, you in the street. You're in the street. You quit to avoid this, to avoid the pavement lifestyle, to avoid walking past the low-income apartments looking for a fade. You quit because this energy was brought up to the main stage. You said, I'm there to podcast. I'm there to work. I don't know about that as a work environment. Well, look at your work environment now. This is your work environment now that you're choosing. You might as well have just stayed up there at no jumper. You and Jack100 already squashed the issue. You're trying to schedule a boxing match with him so you can both get paid for it. Like, come on. The contradiction is too strong. This is why before Doughboy, Blueface was getting voted off the island. This is exactly why. He's a walking contradiction. And when he argues, it doesn't make any sense either. Because he'll stand on a bad point. He'll stand on it for days and scream and yell about a bad point.
Shout out to the nutties.
Is he gonna ever buy the ice cream? Okay. Yeah. Film the lady and her kids at the ice cream truck. That's what people are expecting. To be on your damn YouTube page while you call out a fade. I'll be damned. If I hopped on YouTube and seen my baby mom and my kid in the background of a Blueface video, I got an issue with that. I'm sending a takedown request. You got me fucked up.
Tribute to the community. I mean, your community.
You gangbanging in front of the women and the children, but you're supposed to be a peace officer. Which one is it? Which one is it, man? I'm telling you, maybe Spody needs some of Doughboy's meds or something, because every once in a while he wakes up and he's ready to go back to this. This isn't the content that Blueface is supposed to be doing. You let this man talk you into hopping back into the streets.
I mean, buying the kids ice creams and all that.
Oh, buying them ice creams
and all that. Shit, you can't make this shit up, bro.
Still involving the innocent into your politics. That's weird.
Blueface love the kids. I'm here. Y'all see me. They like, again, Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. At least he bought them the ice cream, but still, if anyone got any type of situational awareness, then I don't really want to be involved in what you got going on. We good. We got the $2, nigga. Thanks.
Come on, my bros from Nutty Block. You already know, NY.
All right, so he's just gonna, Blueface does this. He drags it out and he'll just talk on loop. He's just gonna keep on saying the same 5 words over and over. He's gonna keep saying the same 5 words over and over. Are we supposed to be on the Young Ant video already? Damn, all right, maybe. Young Ant made another video from prison speaking on this whole situation about Blueface and Munchie B standing firm on quitting No Jumper, because Adam said that they had guns. That's the title of his video. That's the title. It was a clout move, yeah. It was a clout move for sure. He gonna pull up at my local ice cream truck? I hope not, man. Well, I don't want. Let's see, Spody. You gotta chill. You're a YouTuber now. Everybody supports Spody pushing peace. Pulling up to someone's city, game banging on camera and asking for fade. I thought, that's why you left No Jumper. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to leave the workplace for getting to street just for you to then literally walk the street the following Tuesday. All right, but yeah, so Aunt Hefe, he is posted a video. It looks like maybe he realized he needs to put some B-roll up while his voice is talking from the phone call. Just copy me, and just put some B-roll of yourself while you're talking, and then when the clip plays, let the clip play. Or whoever is putting Ant's videos together, I would assume he's not. I don't think you guys think Young Aunt Hefe has a Canva subscription while on his jail phone, or is someone taking the audio for him and uploading it to YouTube? Is he logged in on a personal device with his YouTube account and with Canva and all that, and he's running it that way? If so, then the hiccups are understandable. But if somebody is supposedly helping him, they need to do a little better at helping him, because the first video, yeah, loogie incoming, right? Guard your ears and eyes. You never know what we're gonna see with a Young Ant video. But if someone is helping him, they need to make sure to actually help, because if not, yeah, the first call in video is gonna do numbers, maybe even the second and third. But give it 2 weeks and the numbers are gonna see a sharp decline, just like Brick Baby's numbers seeing a sharp decline with his phone call content that he was trying to do. The first one had people curious, but then after that, now maybe Young Ant might be different because he already curated an audience that was used to him doing daily uploads. So maybe it's fine for them, especially if you're like me. Like, I don't really be watching the videos until it's time for me to react to them in my case. But when I'm just listening to videos, I'm listening to videos. It can be a fully produced broadcast with the topics on the screen and different slides popping up and all that. I'm not seeing none of that. Usually I'm multitasking while listening to content. So maybe he'll be fine. But yeah. I'm gonna start the recording again, even though I don't think I'm gonna use this one for a video. But just in case. Young Aunt Hefe speaking on Blueface and Munchie B standing on business and not pulling up the no jumper. I was speculating that it wasn't gonna be real, that we're gonna tune into the Tuesday show and Munchie and Spody will walk in there still. I know Adam proposed an idea, and I guess so. Munchie, he didn't respond at all when Adam was trying to mend the relationship and maybe get to some type of middle ground to be able to get Munchie to still pull up to no jumper. It seems like that might still be in the works as things settle down. But Spody, he might actually be done with it. He's fine with walking the streets game banging again, which is kind of sad. I don't want to see Spody get locked back up because he chose to quit no jumper.
Don't care about that, but what the check say. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe, because it don't cost you nothing to press that button. And if you ring that notification bell, I'm going to bring you mail. What's the good old big deal with the good old people? Hot topics with your boy Young Aunt Hefe, and I'm going to deliver you another one like the other one. When you send me into hot topics, man, you got Munchie B, you got Blueface, you got Adam 22. So, man, I'm catching up late. You already know, man, I'm incarcerated, so a lot of this stuff I'm getting to react to, which I would react to in real time or have more information on. So, we all know
This call is being recorded.
Munchie B, this Blueface, decided, you know what I'm saying?
Now, I'm not gonna lie. Part of the issue is that this sounds like it's directly from them screen recording the phone call or something of that nature. And I feel like the audio is not being ran through any type of post processing. Like, ideally you set up everything to where you don't have to do any post processing, but when you're calling in from a jail or a prison, there's people with whole albums that were recorded the same way. Some albums don't sound the best mixed and stuff like that, but there's still some type of post processing on the audio that comes from it. I'm no audiophile. I don't know everything about audio. Y'all seen how long it took for me to get to where I'm at today with the audio, right? But what I do know from my experience of about 6 months of trying to get it right of having to switch out this equipment and do this and that. I've ran multiple different types of post processing on my audio, multiple attempts and styles of fixing the audio before it's published. They can do something about this audio. They could run this through something. Even if it's dang on GarageBand, you can do something to make this sound a little bit more presentable. Which is this is gonna be why this channel falls off, is if they don't do something about this audio. You don't have to have the visuals. It could damn near be a black screen if what's being said is clear and things like that. People want to hear updates from Aunt Hefe, but you're only gonna get so many chances.
To quit no jumper or take a step back from no jumper pertaining to the surges, you know what I'm saying, that was had last week. Now, over the weekend, I've heard a few audios, with Adam talking and stuff like that, and, setting some boundaries with the snake skin man as far as his building. And he basically was like, he wanted to keep the Tuesday show how it was, with Munchie B and Blueface, and, find another spot for J Hood on a Thursday show. Now, however, I thought he was in talks with them, and I thought everything was gang, and I thought Tuesday show was going to be like any other Tuesday show. But however, it seems like Blueface and Munchie B are standing their guns on this situation pertaining to something that Adam said yesterday on the Monday show. So with that being said, man, we about to get right into this content, and y'all already know, man, it's the halfway and a half effect. We gonna commentate.
For the record, J Hood ran him off.
But that was an agent of Whack, which is agent of you.
I mean, that's the narrative that people are running with. But for the record, I asked Blueface if he was cool with J Hood coming on the pod, and he said yes. And I didn't know that them having a disagreement about Whack was going to result in them basically challenging each other to a fight, which didn't happen because Blueface went and got something out of his car as opposed to actually engaging in a fight.
And that's a Whack narrative that you've been running with, too, because we don't have any proof of that other than Whack saying that.
Well, I've been told that by various people,
J Hood and Whack.
Including people who won't say it on camera.
Are you serious?
I don't know about that.
Okay, wait.
No, that's not up for debate.
I think that is up for debate. That's straight from Whack and J Hood. That is absolutely up for debate.
That's coming from people I've talked to, and that's coming from the person who has access to the cameras.
But they said that when they tucked off, they went around the corner.
I got cameras up and down this whole block.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. That's a Whack and J Hood narrative. We're not believing that as fact right off the bat.
We did see. How come in that moment you didn't say like, "Hey, yo, nah, like I'm not cool with that"?
Who am I to tell two big menacing Crips that they're not allowed to go shoot the friendly? Now, if
you're the CEO,
but wait,
you could have made that.
They want to leave the building. I told them don't do it in my parking lot. They said, okay, we're going to go down the street.
Crips enforcing officers.
If I knew that one of them was going to take it to the level of going and get the whoop-de-whoop, then I would have been more concerned. But if they wanted to just go have a little like friendly in the parking lot, I mean, that's not really my problem, right?
Now, here's a contradiction. Adam's entire coverage and commentary on this situation has been a lot of, it has a lot of contradictions in it that I've been noticing. Here's one. Before the Jay Reed's Alley situation with Loose Cannon and Jack100, maybe a week or two before that, because Whack was obviously beefing with Brick Baby, and he would say things like what he said to Munchie and has said to Spodie and stuff like that. Like, I can pull up. It was a little more aggressive. I'm roughly quoting. It's not accurate, 100% accurate, but things of the nature of, Brick, if it's a problem, I'll pull up right now. They ran the play where Whack was supposedly going 115 miles down the freeway and said, he's pulling up to 607 Unc's interview with the Bison back and Brick Baby, and that he's gonna make it hard for them to leave the building. So Brick and 607 Unc left the interview early. After events like that, Adam said if anybody is inviting or bringing violence to the building, even if like I would assume that meant even if it's a fade, not just shootouts, but violence, that fighting someone with your hands still falls under the category of violence by definition, right? He said if anyone brings that to the building, you will be fired. You will not be welcome here anymore. Shortly after the Jay Reed situation happened, right? Once the Jay Reed situation happened, Brick hopped on the show and said, "Well, Adam, are you gonna fire Whack? He brought violence to the building. He invited violence to the building." Everybody's letting Whack spin out of responsibility or partial responsibility for that because he said he doesn't have any control over what Loose Cannon and his homeboys do. That didn't seem like the case before they started beefing with each other when they were, the duo Loose Cannon and Whack 100 because they were a content duo for a cool minute. It sure seemed like Whack, was big Corey Leone. He could stand there and say get him, and Loose Cannon and his boys was gonna get him. That's what it seemed like from the fans' perspective, right? If I'm tripping, tell me I'm tripping in the chat. I bet you no one say I'm tripping unless they trolling. That was the dynamic. And Brick hopped on the Tuesday show and said, Adam, you got to fire Whack, don't you? I ran content on it. I was still very new to the YouTube space. I ran a reaction video on Brick asking for Whack to get fired. So I remember this vividly. What up, Snoop Will Pac? I remember this vividly, all right? So if that was the rhetoric back then, that if anybody who brings violence to the building, such as saying I'm gonna pull up and we could catch a fade, if you're being consistent with that stance, with that managerial stance, that CEO stance of protecting yourself from liability, then technically J Hood and Blueface should face some type of discipline for not fighting it out with their words, which apparently that's all they did anyways. That's what they're saying, at least. Most people don't believe that, but that's what they're saying. So you're supposed to fight out on the podcast with your words. If you're going to have a war of words, do it to where everybody's going to get some money off of it. Not, let's go outside and walk a half a mile away just to yell at each other and then walk back. Assumingly walking back together and still talking. That's kind of crazy. Let's go for a walk and not run a fade is I don't know. That walk back got to be awkward. But they supposedly left and had a confrontation off camera. So by the standard that was set a year and some change ago, either both of them should have gotten fired or both of them should have gotten some type of discipline. And I think the best resolution that no longer is a thing was, putting J Hood off the Tuesday show for now and giving him his own no jumper show, basically, and see how that goes. Where you could have Whack be a part of that show, Adam be a part of that show, and whoever else they want to have as a changing the other seat type of guest. But instead, now you have it looking like J Hood just rolled Spody off the pod, like he got him up out of there, right? And your reaction being, who am I to stop a fade as long as it's not on the premises? That sounds nice, but if the confrontation started on your podcast, is documented to have started on your podcast, it can easily be viewed as not necessarily encouraging violence or facilitating a fade, but still kind of enabled or fostered that environment to where they feel okay with getting up in the middle of the pod, going to supposedly catch a fade, coming back and sitting down with signs of a fade maybe of being caught, such as the lump or permanent lumps on one person's forehead, and then the glasses not being put on until a whole day later. Never brought the glasses back out. So it just it comes off as that environment that No Jumper is supposed to be trying to move away from, right? Where people feel like it's just totally fine to come up there, catch a fade, and then sit down and continue potting.
I didn't think it was that big a deal.
But it didn't seem like Spody's energy was matching that. It was definitely a J Hood energy. It was a whack, defending whack energy. It came from J Hood. From the beginning of the podcast, you could tell.
But if you watch it, it's like Spodyface was saying things to J Hood that were like essentially like designed to get it to the point. Like when you say, hey, that's a PC move, especially to someone who has had controversy on the internet because they were on a yard that is not like a PC yard, but a 50-50 yard. I mean, you don't really like say that to somebody like J Hood without expecting that it's going to go there. Right?
No, I understand that, but people are kind of misplacing that because that's after J Hood said we could squabble.
They both
that's
escalated.
After, that's after J Hood, and then Spody's like, "Oh, you doing this kind of?" He felt like he was clout chasing. That's why he said the PC comment. I feel like, and then that escalated even further. But J Hood had already said we could squabble. After the pod, we could squabble.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it was just as surprising to me as everybody. Everybody thinks I have like divine knowledge of how these things are going to play out, and in reality, I thought J Hood was just going to be a good addition to the pod. And I thought, notably, when I had Munchie and J Hood on the podcast together, I talked about how I thought that it was important that I get them on the same page. I didn't know that there was going to be any potential for conflict between Spodyface and J Hood. And I didn't know that the whack thing was going to be the thing that like was so serious that they would feel the need to go handle each other out in the parking lot.
But you don't feel any responsibility for you being the person that headed the whack conversation and kind of brought up the things. So Spody wasn't saying any gay stuff. You're like,
hey, W call out. That's a W call out. You kind of threw the match on the gasoline, right? This is reminiscent of the King Pill and Hefe situation, except for in that situation, it was kind of like King Pill accidentally antagonized Adam first by saying the podcast was boring. Because they're like, King Pill, what's going on? Why are you so quiet? You were invited onto the Tuesday show because you were such an animated character during your No Jumper interview. And they thought that would be a good addition to add to the Tuesday show. And then he was just kind of like quiet for 45 minutes straight in his own head type of thing. And, when they asked him that, he's like, well, this shit boring, blah, blah, blah. And so, excuse me, Adam admittedly was offended by him saying that it was boring. And he said something like, well, since it's boring, let's talk about how you, in your biggest song to date, how you dissed the Trays. And, Aunt Hefe is obviously where he's from. And so they already had, it took maturity for Aunt Hefe to even sit down with King Pill in the first place. And then what ensued was why some people say I'm not going to sit down with anybody who's an op, or at least the ops that be openly dissing on the internet. But then that situation, it went from possible black on black violence that could have probably for sure led to their homies and stuff that are in the lobby getting involved and turning into more than a fade, or more than a few people fading. It could have turned way worse, right? King Pill, somehow, while heavily intoxicated, turned that energy of the white man's trying to get us to fight for content, or at least argue for content. He turned that energy on Adam. And then that's where, he infamously got up in Adam's face on the security footage. And Adam, he made his way to his office in case he needed to up Blick. He started creating distance and whatnot. And then the next day or something like that, Adam came on the No Jumper News and was like, yeah, y'all seen the footage? I darn near was going to put him down, but his homies were being rational. Adam came out and said he was about to catch a body right there in the No Jumper studios. In free body type of situation, how he was viewing it. And that it's very similar still with the whole, lighting the match and throwing it on the gasoline and seeing what happens is a similar scenario where you bring up right after J Hood says, I'm not about to do too much, sit around for too much whack bashing. Said, well, shit, there's 2 whack bashers right here. Face says he's gay. That's throwing the match on the gasoline, Adam. It is.
Spody's always saying wax gay, and then that sparked the conversation that led to the
I mean,
fight.
like, I don't understand how me bringing up a person that one of them likes and one of them doesn't like is like why would I?
Yo. The audio that just rolled in sounds like an Exorcist or something. This shit sound cursed. I'm telling whoever is helping him with this isn't even putting no effort into no damn edit.
So, man, y'all heard it right there.
Like, is
Hold on, look.
like why would
Listen to the gremlins.
So, man, y'all heard it right there.
What is that?
Man, so, man, it's ugly, man. So, like I said, I thought Tuesday show was gonna be gang, man, but it looked like, you know what I'm saying, that Blueface and Munchie B gonna have to stand firm, on their decision to quit No Jumper, you feel me? Man, I wish they would've, came back and made the Tuesday show, what it was, but, when lines are crossed or people feel disrespected, they have to stand firm and stand their ground, just like I know Adam 22 feel disrespected about anything. I'm saying he gonna stand his ground. Now, however, it looked like, Monday show, a few guys in the building, no boy, no much talk, know what's going on, but he definitely was still like the same. It seemed like, him and Blueface had created some type of camaraderie, you know what I'm saying? And we all know that, him and the Moose Man don't have anything to do with this situation.
I don't know if he's gonna get to any more points after this, or if he's just presenting to us that clip in reality, and now it's just word salad. But we'll see.
Munchie B and Blueface. Now, we already know, at times Adam 22 can take his edge, you know what I'm saying, and it can be considered messy, you know what I'm saying, or, it can be considered like, he don't care for the co-host, or, trying to throw people under the bus, or whatever the case may be. Now, against Munchie B, from my understanding, he was going to still do the Monday show, and he was deciding not to do the Tuesday show, unless, things were kosher. So, as well, Munchie B definitely felt some type of way.
Yeah, they said that. Munchie originally said that, but then Whack, he opened up a whole new layer of the trick bag when he hopped on. I don't remember which platform he hopped on, but he hopped up somewhere on the internet and said, "You see, now if them niggas still go up there, then they looking like busters." And so he kind of Whack put the nail in the coffin on them coming up there, to where he tried to pre-spin the narrative that if Adam removes J Hood from the Tuesday show and Spody and Munchie return to it, that it confirms the narrative that benefits J Hood and Whack, which is that J Hood essentially successfully rolled Spody and then Munchie with his own issues off the pod. It kind of plays into Whack. Whack is very good at taking a narrative and running with it, regardless of how true that narrative may be. And he ran with it early to kind of force their hand, to where it's like, no, you want to quit, then quit. Stay over there. And ain't about to be no coming back and forth. It's like when you're growing up and you go into the backyard or into the front porch or whatever to go play. But then 5 minutes in, you want to go and check on something in your room. I want to go play with my toys real quick, whatever. I'm going to do one mission on GTA and then go back outside. Hell no. It's either you going to play the game or you going to go outside and play. You ain't about to be going back and forth letting all these flies into my motherfucking house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's basically the energy that was presented once Spody and Munchie have announced that they quit this time around. It's not about to be no revolving door. If you quit, stay over there with it. Y'all got it. That's essentially what Whack was saying. But of course, you're gonna play it up with because he wants them to quit because it's like I won. He might as well post that I won. He might as well, because that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like, regardless of what the actual reasons for why Munchie left. Is way too easy to spin it as Wack won the war.
So, as we all know, I guess.
No, hold on. In the chat, shout out for the membership, renewing your membership, Detractor. Always showing love. Congrats on the viewers. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. I think the morning show naturally is gonna do better views than the night shift one. The night one is more on some chill shit. We're still reacting to videos. I still ended up getting some videos that I was able to clip up out of it too. But yeah, the morning ones are the ones that are gonna stay scheduled as Monday and Wednesday mornings for sure. And then if we do a night show in the future, once the NBA shit is done, it's probably gonna be like a Friday or Saturday night show, because there's nobody really goes live on Friday night or Saturday night, and I think a night show works best when people don't have work and school and stuff to get ready for the following day. But there's still a show tonight as well. Yeah. Get the likes up. Get the likes up while we at it.
Adam 22 got a boy, that, he used to do the BMX stuff with, or he know from the BMX world, before the podcast, whoever this Veil guy is. A lot of people talking about this Veil guy. This Veil guy is somebody,
All right, he ain't talking about shit. I ain't gonna lie. What's next in the list? Let's see what's next in the list. In the rundown. Oh, it looks like we're getting to the No Jumper show now. So I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, because I gotta lock in on this one and click over to my timestamps, because obviously it's a damn near 4-hour podcast. So I made sure to get my timestamps ready for this one so we can be efficient. And then after that, we're getting into our last segment, which is a combination of 3 different videos via the No Jumper clips with the Blueface interview that they're rolling out. And then in between 2 Blueface clips that involve his relationship with Jack100, we're going to revisit an old Adam and Wack show from 4 weeks ago. But I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Let's see. Let me pull up my timestamps for this segment. Talking to myself in the mirror for part 2 is crazy. Yeah, I gave myself a pep talk. You guys see Lush One's pep talk after well, I think it was on the Monday news. He was like, "It's game 7. We're on the playoffs now." Then he chugged some vodka. He did this whole speech, and Ricky's funny on the low. He was looking at him like, "Man, shut the fuck up. Let me get into the topics already. I don't need no pep talk." And Lush stood on his pep talk business, and then chugged vodka at the end of it and threw the vodka at the trash can. Talking about Kobe. All right, let's see. We got a lot of timestamps. I don't think I'm gonna hit all of the timestamps. We all kind of know who Chunky Barbie is after yesterday. They let her, as they were waiting for J Hood to arrive, they kind of just lightweight interviewed her so everyone can understand who she is. I accidentally clicked here, but fuck it. As you see here, Chunky Barbie has been to DC Baby Draco's home, and they had some type of a relationship going. And she even wrote a song called Cameraman, and they watched the music video of that involved them, you know, doing some freaky reenactments on camera before cutting to a scene of DC Baby Draco buying a Plan B. So, you know, they did acknowledge that it's kind of wild that one of DC Baby Draco's biggest detractors, one of his biggest online ops, Blueface, was, you know, rolled off the pod, and then now they have someone who, for whatever, you know, maybe for 10 hours or so, was impregnated by DC Baby Draco. They have this gangbanging woman who's had relations with DC Baby Draco. And, you know, really, this shit is starting to feel like a Boondocks episode. I'm not gonna lie. When you go to Chunky Barbie's Instagram page, she is quite the character. She got fade videos up and all types of shit. She's a tried and true hood lady. You know, it is what it is. I've encountered people that are known for having hands, and you know, people still dating them and whatnot. It's an interesting dynamic to say the least. But they kind of they introed her to the audience. We got to get a little further ahead. Right there. Oh no, 10 more seconds. There we go. So I don't remember what is said at this timestamp, but it's just the first one that I wrote down.
This is definitely worth it.
So we swapped out one neighborhood Crip who has been on a year-long and
Yes, Alan, she is a real live joint. Oh, let me remember to stop recording for the Young Aunt Hefe reaction video, and then we'll start recording here again. This will save me, you know, I gotta remember, when you guys notice me transitioning, until I get the hang of this, just go ahead and say stop or start recording, just as a reminder, because sometimes I forget. I get into a flow and I forget to stop and start recording. You know, we're obviously live streaming, so it's all being recorded anyways. But it's way easier to also record on my end so that I can quickly get out the videos from this live stream and from the other live streams. Because as of now, I have my work cut out for me for tomorrow. I'll be posting, or at least scheduling, some videos from the Monday live streams from the, maybe, I don't remember how the night one went as far as the content, but for sure from the morning one, oh shit, I just accidentally pressed stop recording. For sure from the morning one, I got to post some segments from there, as well as post some segments from the Wednesday show every like I said, every Thursday through Sunday. The ideal is that should be the new video posting schedule. Sometimes there might be a Tuesday video if I get it out fast enough from the Monday show. But going forward, you guys should be able to expect videos Thursdays through Sundays and live streams Mondays and Wednesdays. All right, so that's kind of what I'm trying to do with it. But all right, the first of her introduction, I think this is them just kind of acknowledging that it's kind of Mickey that it looks crazy. You know, it looks crazy. They're potting with J-Hood now full time, and now you have a kind of by way of being impregnated by DC Baby Draco, a Spody Face op. And I guess she also has some back and forth with Munchie B as well.
Anti-DC Baby Draco mission for someone who literally had him jizz inside them.
And is avidly promoting the fact that this occurred. Like, there's not even an ounce of shame here.
Yeah, I mean, I could use a clipper. I can't afford to pay a clipper right now, though, so I would feel bad about that. I believe in paying people for the work they do. So, you know, I don't know if I would want to say, like, yeah, let me hire a clipper out of the chat right at this moment in time. But if you wanna use the YouTube clip feature, that's an informal way to do it. I don't know how long if it lets you clip a whole 40-minute segment and stuff like that, though. But yeah, that's something I would be interested in for sure in the future. Once I can afford to pay a clipper, you know what I'm saying, a fair wage for the work that they do. Absolutely, I'd be down to have someone that's just doing that, and then I could just post the videos from what they do, so I could focus on the stream 100%. Would be fire.
Zero shame.
Oh my god, I regret this. Come on, Disney.
Wait, but so were you guys like seeing each other for a period of time, or was this just kind of a one-off? I'm gonna bang you for this music video.
We've been seeing each other, you know.
Wow.
We still calls.
That's so cool.
Well, we're beefing right now a little bit, but
Because he's locked up. He's been in jail for like months, right?
oh, he'll be home real sooner than you think.
I think it's about a week ago. It's got him beefing right now.
Oh, you seen that too?
Last time a dick was touched.
What are you talking about?
No.
She said
no.
her.
His birthday was about a week ago.
No, I'm not that tapped in.
That wouldn't be nice.
All right, so I think that's the end of the first clip. And speaking of clips, yeah, shout out to all y'all in the community that's down to clip. I'll keep that in mind. Waffles, hit me on Instagram, and we could, whoever wants to clip, hit me on Instagram, or just start clipping. Honestly, treat it like a kick stream. Like, I'm not about the trip. I'm not about the take this down and none of that. Okay, you got it. Bet. Yeah, hit me on IG just so I remember to follow up with you and shit. And yeah, she does look like she could catch a mean squabble. She for fighting most people, she looked like she can definitely cause some damage. But yeah, if you want to clip, you can start whenever you want. Y'all can clip up the shit with the YouTube clip feature or by your own means with screen recording and shit like that. I'm not about to trip on it at all. That's free promo for the channel. If y'all want to post to IG, TikTok, all that shit, just put the channel on the video or something. And that reminds me, I do need to get the logo into the live streams. I'm gonna have everything ironed out by the Monday show, and I'm gonna make a Wednesday playlist as well. But yeah, if y'all want to clip up the shit and run up the free promo, by all means, go for it. I tried to make a TikTok for the channel, and it I don't know what I did when I was setting it up. I've set up TikToks before, but for whatever reason, TikTok basically banned me before I was even done signing up. So I'm gonna try to make my own TikTok again too. And that way I could at least repost the clips that you guys put out there. And then same with IG, I'll repost them to the repost feed at the very least and add them to my story and things like that. Because I would love to start posting content to IG, but it's only so much one man can do. So I really do appreciate y'all being down to help the cause. And when I can, maybe we'll do Cash App giveaways and shit when I can. It's not gonna be as lucrative as if you're clipping for Dean the Great and Adrian Broner, or whoever is the most popping on Kick at the moment. But just something to show appreciation. And, hopefully y'all can get monetized doing clips and stuff too. If you start a YouTube Shorts page and clip my stuff up, if you run up enough views, it's a long path to monetization with Shorts, I'm not going to lie. But if you run up enough views on it, you can get monetized also. I'm never going to trip on people, clipping my content, reacting to my content, none of that. I would be the biggest contradiction in all of YouTube if I was like, oh no, don't react to my shit. Like, what? You're a reaction channel. What the fuck? You can't have it that way. But anyways, let's get to this next timestamp. I do appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome for that. We got to get to 24:23. Let me not do it with the arrow keys. I don't want to give y'all an aneurysm with the screen flashing. Let's see, 24. We'll do 24:24. Shout out to Kobe, R.I.P. the GOAT.
Lush gonna start rocking his belts like that.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a reason.
I got a chub right now. Just thinking about it. Yeah.
Chubbed up on the pod is
I don't
crazy.
like dick shit or anything. What the fuck? What are you talking about?
So I don't know if you know this, but this is kind of like an awkward time in the history of the No Jumper Show because two of our hosts have chosen to leave since the most recent episode.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how we ended up with this guy's not normally on the podcast. This is a little bit of a last minute fill in. He's been consistent. J-Hood, we were trying him out on here, and now it seems that he's kind of established like a permanent role because I don't want to say he ran some of the other hosts off, but for sure his involvement was at least part of why certain people chose.
So this is where the roll-up narrative is at first acknowledged on the Tuesday show from last night. They're using the term run off, but it's essentially the same as saying you got rolled up off the pod. It's the same shit, right?
Chose to move on.
Right. I mean, I think like if I couldn't see and a lot of things are going on around me, I don't know, I probably wouldn't be here either.
Yeah.
If I couldn't see, but I could see.
It's going to be confusing to a certain extent. We're going to get into all that for sure at a certain point here, yeah, but yeah.
I just want to say that I love everybody. And I don't have any.
A little doughboy style glazing there, yeah.
I just love everybody and I got my dick. Trying to love them a little harder. You know what? I think everybody could use a little doughboy in their soul.
What does this have to do with Doughboy? I guess he's trying to change the subject or something. But they were talking about Munchie's aspect of the quitting more so. But sorry, I just read something crazy in the chat. They said Kobe ain't on Lush's level. Chill on Kobe, Allen. That's my favorite player of all time. What was I gonna say? I done lost my train of thought. Hold on.
I mean, I think.
Oh yeah. So she's saying like, yeah, if I couldn't see, I would feel some type of way being in a chaotic environment like what No Jumper is, and that's a valid point. It's funny though, because at some point I don't know if she was trolling or if it just works out as a troll. When she first was talking about herself, she was saying she can't read the chat, and they have it on like a big screen, a few feet away from the desk. So. Excuse me, the joke was that one blind host has left and they've accidentally hired another blind host that is, maybe hired. This was a tryout episode. Chunky Barbie might be blind a little bit as well. More of an astigmatism type of thing, most likely. But they were kind of joking about blindness. And obviously that's directed towards Munchie. And, it just makes me think personally, I'm very excited. By the time August rolls around, I'm gonna re-up on my glasses. I already have the Meta glasses, like I told y'all. I plan on getting 2 more pairs of Meta glasses. I want the Gen 2s. I got the Gen 1s. I'm gonna get me some Gen 2s as well, and I want some of them Oakley joints for when I'm exercising, and I'm gonna get all them shits prescriptioned. So I'm gonna be able to read the chat from a distance soon. I won't have to have the chat up on my phone anymore on these live streams. I'm damn near. I want to say I'm damn near blind, but driving at night for me is crazy. All right, I'm not like it's not good. It's not good, especially if I'm driving at a distance. Just on a side note, a personal, just that's a personal side note. But here, let's get to the next one. It's about to get good. I think I'm gonna, probably skip the 30-minute mark because we just watched Aunt Hefe at 30 minutes and 55 seconds. If you want to watch it again on the Tuesday show, that was something I screenshotted as possibly notable. But it really picks up around 46 minutes and on. So I'm gonna skip because they're gonna react to the Monday show thing, and obviously we just watched Young Aunt Hefe react to that. Oh, and also, I took my own advice that I was given the other night, I think, when someone was bringing up the bison back, and I gave him his flowers a little bit, said, it takes a lot of hard work, but if you ever want to recreate your own Poetic Bison type of channel, the formula is not that hard if you have the time and or willpower to do so. You can do it too. And I took a little bit of my own advice and went ahead and followed. If you guys look at my IG, my ratio is crazy because I'm following a bunch of accounts now, all media accounts. All right. So that I can start incorporating more mainstream topics outside of just the No Jumper universe into these live streams. So what I like about the live streams is it allows me to timestamp Barbie. It allows me to knock out a bunch of content in a few hours. It's very efficient compared to getting everything ready into an editing software and then commentating. And it allows for me to have more energy and better energy while talking about the things that I would be talking about later on today if I did it the other way around, right? So I really am enjoying these streams, which is why they're going to be twice a week. Consistently. Every once in a while I might have to move a show to a different time because like today I have some things to do and whatnot, but for the most part it's going to be Mondays and Wednesdays, hopefully always at 6 a.m. But sometimes it starts at 8 a.m. as you guys see as I'm trying to get acclimated to this. But more topics will be coming out. We're going to be covering the hottest new topics in the entertainment and hip hop world as well. All right, I'm gonna venture out into some TV show topics possibly too. I need to pick one show. We all by the end of June as a community we need to pick one show that we're all gonna try to follow along with, and we'll talk about it once a week on one of these shows. But that's gonna be a segment, and of course the streamers, just that whole world is going to be a segment in these live streams as well. So we're going to go through broad topics, not in this order, but we're going to go through broad general topics, the mass popularity stuff, pop culture, right? We're going to go through No Jumper universe stuff. We're going to go through streamer stuff. And that's going to be kind of the basis of the show. And the occasional sports topic, because I could always use the clip and post it to the Just Sports page and continue growing over there. Because honestly, with minimal effort, I'm at like 70 subscribers over there in a video that's over 3,000 views. The Lane Kiffin mini documentary, which it would be funny if their season is shit, even though they have a lot of talent on their roster. Because then I feel like that video is going to grow very, very fast if LSU football struggles this season. But anyways, now we have, I don't even know. It's damn near a raw reaction because I don't remember why I picked these timestamps. So let's see. I'm sure it will jump out at me.
Women topics. I think we need to integrate more of that. You know what I'm saying? Like the Cardi B and all that stuff. Like she'll give us an angle where she really cares about one of them.
What a cop out. You can't just know about girl shit when there's like no fucking. We barely ever talk about girls. J Hood said he's outside.
I think people are too hard on Astrid because she's a bad bitch.
So people like expect her to be dumb as fuck. So no matter what, even before she opens her mouth, they're like, "Oh, this bitch is retarded. Who gives a fuck what she has to say? She should be sucking dick." Like, which is like a general consensus when it comes to pretty girls that I understand. But if you actually analyze the shit coming out of her mouth, it's not as bad as people say it is. She's not bad at podcasting.
If you analyze the shit coming out of her mouth, it sometimes belongs to Josh.
It's actual poo.
I feel like my joke was like pretty good, and then you just like said your own joke over mine, so it's kind of That's called stepping on.
I did not mean to step on it.
Yeah.
Habitual line stepper.
Yeah, it's just
Not a habitual line stepper.
Lush loves to just sort of dive in there on top of your shit. J Hood's about to walk in here in about 2 seconds.
It's hard because I do try to find that sweet spot before.
All right, that's what it is. So it's gonna be ironic. They're gonna kind of get into they're gonna start talking about how Craig Smith was there earlier. The guy who was defending Doughboy. The Craig, as I said in the video I made covering his reaction to Doughboy getting marked out by Kyle. Craig was one of the funnier people from the Roast Me series that they did over there on All Def. If not the funniest guy there. And so he might end up becoming a No Jumper host. I don't think his intentions are to replace Doughboy. If anything, is there to support Doughboy and maybe put some respect on the comedians in podcasting's name. I think they are going to kind of allude to him being down to do more content at No Jumper, which I'm all for. Craig is an entertaining guy. I was critical of his talking points and stuff in the video I did on him, but I still did make sure to start off by giving him his flowers too. I don't want that to be misconstrued by how my comment section, y'all was writing for me, and I appreciate that. But that is a funny individual. He's not a Doughboy. He's not a Doughboy. That nigga can go.
Right, because that's like, but sometimes you risk stepping.
Yeah. Especially because we just did a podcast that is currently up for members only, where me, Doughboy, Lush, and Craig Smith sat down for a couple hours. I thought that was pretty good.
No, I thought that was phenomenal.
And Craig Smith said he wants to do more stuff, so that's definitely going to be...
What made it great?
What made it great? Well, we didn't really... we talked about a few topics, but for the most part, we kind of just got into like all kinds of random shit. But he's a pretty smart guy.
Insanely intelligent.
Yeah.
Really, really intelligent, and he pushed the conversation.
Hold on. So I guess Charles Mack is a little behind in the stream, but I'm going to address what he's saying real quick to clarify something. He says, I don't understand y'all non-hood dudes. If he pull up, he's dumb. If he don't pull, then he's scary. Y'all dudes need to pick a fight. I'm not one of those people that's out here encouraging people to fight for my entertainment. Unless they're gonna do it in a boxing ring, that I'm all for boxing. But I never said he's dumb if he doesn't pull up. So I don't know what you're talking about. He's talking about the Blueface thing. I'm just on the side of it's a contradiction to who you're supposed to be growing into being. I'm all for growth, but I'm pointing out that Blueface is taking a step back by crashing out and walking Compton Rick Rock's block and gangbanging in front of children and women. That's a step in the wrong direction, in my opinion. I'm not one of those people who's saying slide for Vaughn. I'm not one of those. All right? That's you're trying to paint it like that, trying to spin it like that, like someone says slide for Vaughn when it comes to Blueface. Yeah, he on a 45-minute delay, but that's all right. That comment bothers me though because it's just not true. That's a misrepresentation of that coverage that we just did. That's a complete misrepresentation. Yeah, exactly. Roast me, Craig Smith, our co-host of the 5150 podcast with Corey Holmcomb. Yeah. No, yeah, Craig is funny. But no, I'm not one of these people cheerleading from the sidelines for people to throw their life away. That's weird to me. The people that do that are weird. You trying to make it sound like I'm a Flacco type of individual that says, "Oh, I thought you was a gangster. Get in the streets then." No. My message was the opposite of that. It's you are over the age of 30 years old. Why are you letting YouTube back and forth revert you into going and doing that type of content when you just quit probably the best opportunity in your podcasting career because it was feeling too street? That's called pointing out a contradiction. Let's get your comprehension up before you start typing crazy in my chat.
Like looking at, I don't know, like I'm curious to see how our audience resonates with it because it's a way more highbrow conversation that I would say this channel typically has, but
right, because like historically, for a while now, Tuesday has really kind of become like the street gangster topic night. Here he is.
See, this is what I wanted. The irony of right when they're saying like, "Oh yeah, so Craig, his interview ended up being kind of highbrow, and he's a very smart guy, and we're trying to move away from the perception that this is just a gang podcast," and then J Hood's timing is perfectly imperfect. Right when they're saying, we're trying to move away from the street shit. Like, here, look, let's watch it again.
He pushed the conversation, like looking at, I don't know, like I'm curious to see how our audience resonates with it because it's a way more highbrow conversation that I would say this channel typically has, but
right, because like historically, for a while now, Tuesday has really kind of become like the street gangster topic night.
Right on time. This is like the Shadora Sanders song, perfect timing. You got J Hood entering right as they're talking about maybe going in a new direction. But they say, as I said before, Spody hit 20K subs and said F no jumper is crazy. That's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it for sure. But, I'm not sure if he realizes that a lot of his rapid growth is partially because of his consistent presence on No Jumper. Whenever you build a channel that is, in anything past a million subs, really anything past 100K, it is a marketing machine at that point as well. So if you're constantly showing your face on this marketing machine and getting clipped up by this marketing machine, that's helping your name in the algorithm way more than it would just from your individual channel by itself. And that's why there is this stimulus with leaving, because the fans from the marketing machine are going over and wanting to get more details on the drama. But then once you're no longer involved in drama, which is probably why he's choosing to do this back and forth with Compton Rick Rock, because he knows in his case the drama is what is boosting him. And I'd rather take the long way. If drama has to boost me, I'm cool on it. I don't want to be constantly having to pick a beef with somebody every week just so I can achieve views. I'll keep on doing my commentary the way I'm doing it and being a relatively non-problematic individual. I'd rather that. I don't want to have to meet up and catch a fade with somebody every week. I'm not 15 years old anymore. When I was in middle school, I was addicted to fighting. All right? I've talked about it a little bit before, but I was like dead ass addicted to it. I had a little bit of boxing chops for a school age boy, which puts you at a natural advantage against most of your classmates. And I was going to school on Monday looking for who I'm going to fade on Friday. So I've long outgrown that. The fuck? What I look like breaking my hand and now it's uncomfortable to, operate the keyboard and shit. I'm cool on that. We can fight with these words. We can have a war of words if it's necessary, but I'm not looking to pick no fights with nobody anymore. But, if that's how Spody feels like he's going to keep his channel, growing, good luck. Good luck, man. Don't get locked back up. I'm all for people staying free and staying peaceful. I don't know my squabble record, but it was favorable for sure. I've definitely lost about 2 or 3. I'm not Floyd. I've lost 2 or 3. I'm not afraid to admit that. But I found out I had knockout power when I was in the second grade. So that's always a factor with me, is that I always knew that I could kind of do that. But let's get on to the next timestamp. Right, I'll meet you at the ice cream truck, Black Jesus. Make sure to throw up your set in front of all the women and children too. Let me see where we're at. So we got to get to 57 now. 57:13. And now that J Hood is there, they're gonna start unpacking, the hot topic, if you will. Wearing a war shirt after after all this is pretty ironic.
In jail, you look at your phone and you put it away because you don't want the police to come. So you really, you look up Young Thug, Lucci, Boosie, you feel me? You look up, you don't really just surf the internet. You don't surf the internet.
And see what's going on in
crazy,
there.
like when I see somebody say some crazy stuff one time, I don't even look at it anymore. Like stuff I know that's going like get under my skin, I don't pay attention to it. But a lot of people be addicted to it. So I didn't really pay attention to none of the stuff that controversy that about because I really don't care about it because that's going to be my people regardless.
All right, and so this person, Boogie4565, has been saying, he's been spamming this in the chat, which please people refrain from spamming, but he said, you brought up something that Spody said about Wack right after J Hood said how much he loves Wack. Again, like, there's no reason that I would have thought that would result in some sort of violence just because of the fact that two people have differing opinions about something. In fact, I've said on here many, many times that having differing opinions about stuff is like basically the entire thing when it comes to podcasting. I thought that we were just about to have a conversation because I do think like...
Keep what Adam just said in mind, all right? Because this is what I mean where it's kind of, he's been inconsistent on this topic when it comes to J Hood and Spodyface in particular. Because he already just said, like, differing opinions, you're supposed to talk it out on the pod, not fight it out. And we know when it comes to Adam being challenged to fades on the podcast, he told Ruga, he's like, what are you, an idiot? You can't just have words with me. We have to fight. Like, I'm a podcaster. I'm not going to step outside to fight you. That's Adam's words, not mine. Adam said he's not stepping out of the pod to fight nobody because he's a podcaster. But, Ruga had an issue that he felt, required putting hands on Adam. And he wanted to fight him man to man. So, in one of these clips we're going to get to, Adam's going to say that is not the same standard for himself. He's like, well, when it's me, I'm here to pod. But if you're in the streets, you're in the streets. And I'm not about to get in the way of that. So, is the inconsistency on that is interesting. I feel like even if they're in the streets, the whole point of offering people that have multiple felonies and things like that an opportunity to make legit money through the podcast setting, Adam should still be the voice of reason. That even if they don't listen to the voice of reason, I think is a better look, and you don't come off like Leonardo DiCaprio in Django Unchained, right? It's a better look for you as a business from a liability standpoint too, to not say things like, well, they're both from the street, so I'm gonna let them handle it how they want to handle it. When they say we can go outside and fight, maybe someone did detract against that a little bit. I don't remember right now, but just this next wave of media that's around this, that's more current now, I think you should say, I don't encourage anybody to handle podcast beef as if it's a street beef or something of that nature. I don't encourage you to invite people to step outside and fight. That's not what you're here to do. You're here to fight with your words. Use that same tenacity, that same passion, that same energy to produce good content. A heated argument goes just as viral and sometimes more viral than a fight clip. Yeah, Almighty Suspect, packing out Kelpie, that went pretty viral, of course. But Sharp, he never put his hands on anybody. And yeah, most of it is him yelling with women, but still, he's using his words to channel a very similar energy to beating on a woman, but he's just doing it verbally. He's throwing a jab, jab, hook with his words. And he got way more viral clips than the actual physical confrontation clips. Right? Sharp doesn't have any clips on No Jumper or anywhere else that are viral from him putting his hands on somebody. It's all from words. So that alone is proof that your words in a podcast setting are more valuable than your hands in a podcast setting.
Blueface kind of constantly calling Wack gay and saying that he's a snitch, even though there isn't really any evidence to suggest those things would be true. I mean, we were going to have a conversation about that. Yeah. The fact that the conversation got escalated to the point that almost immediately it was like, oh, let's go outside, that's a totally different thing.
All right, so look, Adam, that is regular. Like, in the gangbang community, like, you fight for anything. Like, dude, the homies could... The wind could be blowing. Y'all be like, hey, y'all go squabble. So I didn't think that was like nothing major because that's how respect is established. Like, especially in jail, that's how respect is established.
Right, if it goes too far.
You go too
So we can get down real quick.
Yeah, we can squabble. We can squabble ahead of time just so, you feel me, when we do have this conversation, we both
got it out the way. Now we can
know nobody's scared of each other.
I guess, like, in the future, if this thing is going to work in the long run, I think that we're going to have to, like, kind of raise the bar for, like, challenging the other person to a duel, just because, you know, we are in, like, a relatively nice area. We did hear that the cops were sort of like...
All right. So he's pushing back against... Challenging to a duel is funny as hell. But he's pushing against that, at least now. But, of course, he also did say, I'm not going to get in the way of it. That's also the stance you've been standing on since Monday. So... That's what I mean. It's like you kind of playing it both sides instead of just pick the right side. Just tell them you're gonna go more viral having the conversation on camera, first of all. In any other type of situation like that, that's some of the best content No Jumper can produce is two people that have a difference in opinions or in ideology hashing it out over a 4 to 5 hour podcast.
Swarming around afterwards, and we don't necessarily know why, but it is possible that, you know, two large men screaming at each other in the street might have possibly been the thing that, like, somebody not screaming, but, you know, it might have been confrontational enough that might have been why the cops showed up, even though, I mean, some people are saying that fucking Flacco called the cops. I don't really know why anybody believes that.
Black guys in
All right, so this I have a problem with, not because of any personal bias either. What I have a problem with saying, like basically, for a good chunk of this episode now, Adam's gonna say that, you know, it's damn near foolish to think that Flacco really called the police on the No Jumper building, and I did see in the No Jumper V2 Reddit, and I think Adam's seen as well and whatnot. Excuse me, got them hiccups again, but I think Adam's seen that somebody posted the actual building, like they found the listing from when the building was for sale, and they posted the address of the No Jumper studio in the Reddit recently. It's probably been posted in that Reddit before too. Of course, if it's in the main Reddit, they would have deleted it, but it's in the one that Adam doesn't have control over. So the address is out there. I feel like the address has been out there at the very least since Lush invited Travis Ford and, you know, all the several different hoods. It was like a unity thing going on. The whole No Jumper cake and the 30 Crips thing. In all those different camera angles that came out of that, the address was clear as day and whatnot. And everybody's kind of already known where No Jumper is at as far as what city. But as far as, like, you could see the neighboring businesses signs and everything in those Travis Ford clips. So the address has basically been public for a while, even though, of course, you know, the people up there don't necessarily want it to be public. But if you, you know, remember in any Grand Theft Auto video game, if you walk into the police station and even bump into one of the police officers, they all draw down on you and it's like impossible to get out of the police station alive, right? I feel like No Jumper is kind of similar. Like if a random fan decided to, even though we've seen it happen in the past, but if a random fan decided to run into No Jumper in this version of No Jumper, security present or not, everybody there is strapped. So it's kind of what is that shit called when they fly the plane? Well, you guys get the point. You got a death wish if you're just pulling up to No Jumper thinking you're just gonna get in there and cause a problem. Somebody's gonna put you down or at least draw down on you, right? So the building is out there though, and Adam's basically going to try to spin the narrative that any random viewer could have essentially swatted No Jumper. When I covered the situation in real time, I think it was last Wednesday's show, I said, basically, if it's true, if Flacco really did what he said he was going to do months ago and said, just wait until the next time you up there and you got that gun on you, Munchie, because they had their back and forth, and he said this. He said, next time you have that gun on you up there at No Jumper, don't be surprised if the police get called. He let it be known. And what I have to say about that is this. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's remember where the Bison's roots as a content creator really, formed from. It comes from Dr. Umar Johnson never publicly, asking him to do any of these nefarious things. But he was doxing people in doing behavior that it wouldn't be surprising that he's the type to swat somebody in this type of situation. It wasn't like a formal swatting. It's like he damn near accidentally did it because he does little things like this in the past. With the flooding those people's restaurant with bad reviews, putting people's addresses out there and talking about people's children and that were never made public and all types of shit, right? He has that whole foundation of doxing and harassing people online. That's how his YouTube channel started. That's why all the old shit is gone. He only has this new version with the AI thumbnails up. But there's still clips and content out there that's always circulating about his dark past. And how he got his first, 5 to 10,000 subs was basically being a cyber bully on behalf of Dr. Umar Johnson. So I wouldn't put it past the same person that Brick Baby and Young Barry Gordy and Sharp had on that show, a show I've also covered not that long ago, where they had the Bison Bat come in to the show and get pressed, and they basically said Kill Squad is a counter to cyber bullies like Poetic Bison Bat. The whole put Kill Squad in the streets, that's a double entendre. They're not saying actually put Kill Squad in the streets. They're talking about the comment section, flooded with the hockey sticks, and let people like the Bison know that you're not about to bully, cyber bully people like Brick Baby and whatnot. There was a whole back and forth about that, about his cyberbullying ways, allegedly cyberbullying ways, right? And so that's why everyone says, well, he said out his own mouth months ago that he's gonna call the police on Munchie for being up there with a weapon, allegedly. He said it out his own mouth. The very first time that Munchie is photographed or on video with something poking out of his waistline, the cops just so happened to be up there doing a routine check, is one of those coincidence, I think not, situations, right? So Adam's trying to play defense on behalf of the Bison because he's trying to not burn bridges anymore when people leave the platform. And he's really trying not to burn the Bison back bridge for whatever reasons, right? And so he's playing defense on his behalf and saying, no, it's probably just a random fan. Everybody knows the address, so anybody could have done it. If anybody, that's the thing, the No Jumper audience is toxic. the comment sections are toxic, especially on this episode because it's a new episode. It's a change of pace episode, right? And in the comment section is very toxic and No Jumper a lot of the times. It takes a while for people to become liked by the No Jumper audience. But something that I don't think has ever happened until last Tuesday was a possible swatting attempt. The No Jumper audience hasn't done that. And the address has been public. The address has been public for at least a year, but really more. With them showing the lobby and stuff like that, people could have been figured out which building it was, right? But for sure, the address was shown with the Lush and the Travis Ford situation. If the No Jumper audience is so toxic that they're just swatting No Jumper all the time, why is this the first time we've heard about it? I feel like it would happen more often if the fans were on that type of dumb shit. At the end of the day, yeah, the fans want to talk their shit. They want to have input on who should be on the show and stuff like that. And if you have a bad performance, they're gonna let you know in the comments, for sure. And they're gonna flood your Instagram and all that stuff, and the Reddit, of course. But what they don't want to do is send the task force up there to possibly air out the building. Because if they wanted that, it would have been happened. That's why all the commentary and reaction channels immediately speculated, and people like me played the clip from when he said it from months ago. Ricky played the clip from when the Bison said it from months ago. And Ricky also on Monday morning, I think he dropped a video playing the clip of the Bison taking credit for the police call. He played that on his channel as well. So he has some sense, regardless if the audience approves of him or not. He has some sense, right? If someone says they're going to do it a month or two ago, and then after it happens, they say, hey, I did it, who are we to be their defense attorney? If you want to admit to swatting your former workplace, I don't know why the CEO would sit up here and defend you. If anything, he should be trying to get you investigated, because he played with everybody's life up there. You're mad at Dejon Paul still for saying what allegedly happened to him. But really, you need to be mad at that motherfucker over there, at the South Dakota dude, North Dakota, whichever one. You need to be mad at Dakota Johnson over there. All right? Because he just played with your whole business. He just played with everybody's safety, allegedly. We don't have concrete evidence, but someone admitting to a crime twice, premeditated a month or two ago, said, I'm going to call the police up there. Then when it happens, when we see the thing poking from Munchie's waist again, then in real time, the episode ends with, oh, checking the phone. My girl said the police is out front. And they're all is little whisperings while Lush is going on a crackhead rant about the police being out front. The person who has the history of doxing and harassing people online admitted to doing this alleged swatting. Admitted to it. We're gonna defend and deflect? I don't know. The Bison back having dirt on Adam narrative has yet another strong example, because he basically played with your life too. The police could come on there on bullshit, you get hit with a stray. They decide to Rodney King a nigga in there, you might just get hit too. They playing with your life as well. I don't know if your wife be up there at nighttime, but that's playing with your wife's safety as well. If people were swatting the building, I don't think it was the fans. It would have been happened if it was the fans. The address been public. Y'all go live every single workday. Monday through Friday, y'all live. And it's never happened until the Bison said he was gonna do it. But yeah, so this segment is Adam saying, nah, it couldn't have been him. Maybe he's just in disbelief. He doesn't want to believe that someone that he views as a peer and as a friend would do that to him. But if I'm you, if I'm Adam, you got to at least try to see if they can investigate that, because people go to prison over doing exactly what is being alleged. People go to prison over that. You might want to play some police games back, right? To protect your building's integrity, safety, and all that. Because now after that, that's why Munchie don't want to go up there. It's like, okay, well, niggas that swat in the building and shit, I'm cool. I'm not going up there. And rightfully so. If Brick Baby was free and that happened to Brick Baby, he probably wouldn't come back either. Why would you put yourself in that position? Well, let's see, I'm gonna get to the next timestamp.
What everybody saw in that photo or whatever. But that happened. And then obviously it had hundreds of comments or whatever in the Reddit. And then is that reason for Munchie to quit? It doesn't really seem like it. But then I think Munchie possibly realizing that when he talked about why he quit, he basically said that he felt like it was almost like I didn't actually hear what he said, but he said something about how it was basically looking like a
Munchie's
police
calling
thing.
in right now.
Oh, he is. Oh,
Take that.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Yo, what's the deal, Munchie? Hold up, let me put you on speakerphone. I'm on No Jumper right now.
He knows that.
Yeah, I hear you. Wait, let me put you on speaker.
Why didn't you just put him on speaker in the first place?
Fuck.
Go ahead.
Hey, look, bro. The very next day later, bro, I hit J-Hood, and J-Hood asked his girl, do it look like they was just patrolling or they was caught, bro. Bro, his girl said it looked like they was caught. They walked in the parking lot and went by a certain color car. You feel me? That's the same car I'll be in, and that's the same color car that
It was said that they were looking for a black Mercedes Benz.
I don't know what the fuck. The same color. It's 3 cars the same color. J-Hood girl car, the car I'll be in Blueface, bro. But I don't know how J-Hood just switched it up. Your girl said it looked like it was called, bro.
Hey, because I don't believe nothing a female say. I gotta.
To address what Paul said in the chat. Oh no, sorry, not Paul. Let me see. What King Dante said. He said Adam called the cops on the Travis Flores situation. He swatted himself. That's not swatting yourself. If you're a business owner or homeowner and someone is on your property that you don't want to be there, and it's no proof that No Jumper called the cops, even though, inquiring minds think that's the case, that's not swatting yourself. That's simply calling for trespassing. This person is trespassing. I want them removed legally. And then if you think you might have to use your legally owned firearm, you also are required to tell the police, hey, I have a legally owned firearm. There's somebody here trespassing that I don't want here, or somebody, that I feel threatened by. I might have to use my legally owned firearm. Please, come here and help, mediate the situation. That's not swatting yourself. There's actually no such thing as swatting yourself. All right. The counterpoint that Adam made was that one of the fans could have called the police up to the thing trying to be funny. That's something that they can do the backtracked forensics on and see. Did the Bison actually call them up there or not? There's people in prison right now for doing the same thing. So, again, what? Are you telling me to shut my ass up? Or are you talking to someone in the chat? Charles Mack. You sound a little upset. You might want to drink some coffee first, man. It's pretty early in the morning to be upset in Just Clips chat. But yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference between calling for someone that you feel is trespassing or, overstaying their welcome versus somebody else calling the police on your building while watching the live stream. One of Adam's points on that as well was, the Bison, he has a pretty strict upload schedule for his 3 to 5 videos a day. I don't think he has time to watch a 5-hour podcast. I would counter that by saying I've definitely seen him commenting actively, not recently, but in the last year, I've seen him commenting during Tuesday shows, during episodes of the news. That news isn't 5 hours, but still, I've seen him actively commenting in these shows from time to time. If y'all would have had Jaleesa's homegirl on the Tuesday show last week, he'd probably be in there commenting at some point in the 5 hours. He's also sent super chats during shows and whatnot. I've been in what's it called, Viral Ways live stream, where they'll be on 8 p.m. or something like that until 11 p.m. Not necessarily 5 hours, but he'll be in there commenting in there on Viral Ways late night live stream. So he has time while those videos are uploading to tune into these podcasts. He definitely be up in the podcast still. Let's be real. And the podcast started off with 2 alleged members saying, "Let's go catch a fade outside." You think he's not gonna watch that to see what he's gonna put in his video about it? He's for sure glued to his screen when something like that happens, just like everybody else that does commentary and reactions. Some of his biggest viewed videos in the last year is no jumper drama. All right, so the defense on behalf of the guy who potentially swatted your building is crazy.
I see it for myself. Females be over dramatic, and
So do men.
How many? A lot of men do too, but I asked her how many cars.
Oh, that's a good point, Lala. I didn't think about that, but that doesn't really apply to this setting unless someone was like, "I'm in the bathroom at no jumper. I'm about to step off the chair." Like, I can see how that could be a thing, but that seems like it'd be more rare than the common uses of the term, right?
I asked her how many. All right. So look, I've been in the streets a long time, just like you. If somebody called the police for a gun munchie, if somebody called the police right now and said they seen somebody with a gun, how is LAPD or LA County Sheriff or Inglewood PD pulling up?
Hey, look, I'm tripping on how you switched.
Can you answer the question?
The girl just said in front of you, bro, that it looked like it was called, and you agreed that was some weird shit.
I just told you why I switched it, because I evaluated the situation. I don't believe nobody called the police because I've been in LA County a long time. And if you answer the question, like I'm not.
Adam say, Poetic Federal, his little itinerary is schedule, right? Bro, when I got home, his video was 2 hours old, bro, about what just happened on stream. He be watching.
Yeah, he be churning them out right away. He be churning them things out immediately.
What are you talking about? That nigga ain't missing nothing.
All I'm saying is, I don't think the police got called because in LA, when somebody say they see a gun, the police.
Yeah, I mean, come on, hold on. Let's remember who we're talking about. Remember when 4 Extra blew his hand off on the 4th of July? The Bison came on No Jumper and told a story that he was on a date. He was like, "I was on a date. She was a bad bitch. She was bad." Or I guess Brandon told the story for him. Black Belt Brandon. He told the story that the Bison left in the middle of his date with a good looking prospect, and did what? He had to get out that video about 4 Extra right away. He stopped what he was doing on the 4th of July to get out a 4 Extra video. No jumper drama video, right? This is the same type of thing. If he's gonna stop the middle of the date, not just wait until later that night or wait until the morning to do the video, I got to do it now. I'm hopping in the Uber and going back to the crib, paid the bill. So you telling me he skipped out on some food or ate the food later, and he values his food, but he values the content over the food, because without the content he don't got no food, right? It's not that far-fetched to imagine that he watched the rest of the Tuesday show that might have a squabble happen at any moment. That's not a far-fetched, thing.
Police coming 4 or 5 cars deep. Especially
you in LA, nigga. You in LA.
Burbank. That's what it is.
We could be anywhere.
You ain't there.
Making all the hits. We covered the Spodey pull up already. Hit the the rewind when the live is done, and you'll see that coverage.
LA, like, what you talking about?
Ain't this LA County?
Yes.
Yeah, so LA County Sheriff Patrol here. This is LA County. The LA County Sheriff is gonna come deep.
I look, so you talking about Burbank that don't have nothing going on? They got like three or four gangs. You talking about they responding it the same way as LAPD, like our LAPD and the sheriff's responding?
Nigga, they trip, especially they hear black folk fighting. They coming deep. They might shoot a nigga. Burbank police, they might shoot you. Hell yeah. But if they have,
maybe they might be moving like the Simi Valley police and whatnot. They might be tripping because they don't have much else to do, and they already don't want that type of culture infiltrating the streets of Burbank and whatnot. Let me see where we're at, though. I think we get on to this, the final timestamp from this episode. And you know, really though, I gotta keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the Adam shout outs and stuff. That's dope that he rocks with the channel. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. I feel like you kind of wrong. You taking up for Bison back a little too much in this situation. I know, you know, maybe you don't want to believe that he would do something like that. But when people show you who they are, you got to take that. You got to take that and keep that in mind at least. Even if you're not going to publicly, you know, address that side of it, other than how you did, where you try to, you know, stay cool with them. But yeah, man, I would keep that guy away. I would watch him. Possibly investigate into that, because that's playing with everybody's safety, as J Hood was saying. Whoever called the police up there is playing with everybody up there's safety. That's taking it a step too far.
This guy starts coming around, and then I think in his mind it was like,
shit got real.
It's potentially more chaos that
Wasn't
could
that their
happen
first
here.
pod together though?
No,
Or
it
the
wasn't.
second.
Third.
Oh, third. Okay, yeah.
we did the 101, then we did the first two they show, then we did the last.
Right.
Okay.
But I never got to argue with him. That's why I was. Why would you think all of a sudden he needed?
So what was the whole like
he didn't
slapping
have a-
narrative? You were supposed to slap him.
That was Braze. Braze put that out there, and then he, I guess, admitted that he was lying, which we kind of knew like right away. Like that doesn't make any imagine Wax saying, "Hey, J Hood, I need you to fire on Munchie in the middle of the podcast." That would be insane.
And imagine taking a guy that doesn't get along with any of these people's word for it as the gospel on the situation.
He said the plan was for J Hood to sit right next to Munchie. When I walked in, I laughed the first time I sat right there, so I walked this way. Adam told me, J Hood, sit right here.
Right, because Ant's spot was open, and the prior episode it had like, you know, multiple people like sitting on stools and shit like that, you know. So I told you, look, you got to sit. You kind of look like Ant Hefe sitting in Ant's seat.
So now it's just looking at hella worse, basically. Now it looks like he tried to set it up.
But he said that it was a plan for me to sit in that seat. No, I wouldn't do nothing to nobody that's blind. I wouldn't do that. And me and him ain't got no issue. I ain't got no issue with Munchie.
I don't think that's the issue that he was even stating, though. He was saying that he feels like his freedom's at risk because of whatever issues he has with Flacco. And Spody essentially was kind of saying the same thing as far as,
I like how J Hood clarified that he wouldn't put his hands on Munchie, because no matter who you are, unless you're also facing a physical disability, you don't get any points from putting your hands on somebody with a disability. That's like pushing somebody with a wheelchair. You're gonna push them down on the side, push them off the curb or something on the sidewalk. That's bullying. Ain't nobody gonna rock with the person who's putting their hands on someone with a disability. And if he would have put his hand, you know what I'm saying, it would have became Kill Bill. It would have looked like Kill Bill in there if someone would have put their hands on Munchie. Allegedly, he had something on his hip.
you guys even having to step off the pod and have a heated conflict.
But that's essentially
but he's saying that the environment is starting to resemble the environment that he left and that he doesn't want to regress back to. So I'm wondering like how you feel about them kind of harping on that, saying that this environment is starting to feel more like a
fear of
street
swatting, essentially. That is the same. That is like being afraid that the police are just going to show up, because by that definition, like you don't even need to be Flacco watching no
Exactly.
Right.
Anyone watching at home could call the cops and say, "Hey, there's a fucking there's a terrorist."
Ricky got a fucking AK on him right now.
Chill.
With
I'm sure
monkey
though.
nuts.
Obviously,
It sounds nice in the moment, but if the fans hated No Jumper that much, like I said, that would have been happened. It would happen all the time. Look how often Neon gets swatted when he's in LA. If the fans hated No Jumper like that, it would happen at least once a month, and it doesn't. So they're trying to keep the bridge up with the Bison back for whatever reasons. I have to call it out. Because that's like letting someone just play in your face and still inviting them to Friendsgiving. Nigga, you ain't my friend. You doing exclusive content with the ops. In Adam's Jesus sandals. I'm putting myself in his Jesus sandals. You doing pods with the ops. You take chances to, damn near badmouth me and the platform every chance you get. And you premeditatedly told Munchie that the next time you see a hint of a weapon up there, you're gonna call the cops up there. We see the hint of the weapon and the cops is up there. And then you hop online immediately and take credit for it. I think he surpassed Charleston White on the rat totem pole, on the proud rat totem pole. I think Flacco is now the top master splinter. That's something he wants to be. He been trying to pass Charleston White for like 2 years. This is a different type of activity. Not even Charleston White would have done all that. Charleston White would have pepper sprayed somebody or something before he do that.
obviously, me and you and Adam getting swatted, we're not tripping as hard as J Hood, Spodie, and Munchie getting swatted.
Nah, but we are
Obviously.
though. None of us, because you could get killed by getting swatted, bro. That's why that shit is a serious offense. Swatting is all fucking bad.
You get what I'm saying, though.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
So basically, J Hood was the reality check. He came here, got the tripping.
That's not what I'm saying.
I didn't get the tripping. This is like regular.
Okay, but Munchie's exit really technically didn't have anything to do with J Hood,
Yeah,
except for the fact that I think that Munchie was kind of perturbed by the fact that there was a fucking back alley fade and an alleged whoop-de-wop in the first place. I feel like that, to him, he's kind of looking at it like, what the fuck did I even sign up for with this podcast?
Munchie's blood. He didn't did that. That's regular. Munchie to see that all the time. Munchie be around that all the time. That's regular.
It's the fact
he didn't even get up and flinch. He like, shit, I can't stop them niggas. That's them.
I think we could cut that off right there. Yeah, he's right about that. Munchie's not about to be fazed by people arguing necessarily. He is always on alert though, as we've seen when he jumped up on the couch during the almighty suspect Brandon altercation, because he wasn't sure if that was gonna lead to a weapon being pulled or something. That was a classic episode, by the way. I might react to that on stream just for fun, even though I obviously already did my content on the suspect versus black belt Brandon confrontation. Is suspect, did he really call in and say that he was smoking on runts in the county jail? I remember seeing whispers of that, but I never confirmed. Can any of y'all confirm that actually happened? That he actually said that? No, yeah, Munchie, he's Daredevil. He black Daredevil for real. He black Daredevil for real. B Lord said this episode was so trash. I think grace has to be given. They had the scramble and find a new host. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the fans should be grateful there was a Tuesday show at all. You don't have to be like say that in the comments. Oh, I'm just happy that there was a Tuesday show. But like, what did you expect? Of course, the episode's not going to be the best episode of the Tuesday show ever when they're trying to find a replacement host, you know? They had to scramble and find this lady last minute. And they're gonna go down their list of possible combinations until they find a mix that works. I'm gonna be honest. The formula that if you guys have been in the other lives, I broke down the formula that I think works best at No Jumper is you got Ricky. You know, Munchie got ran off by the police activity. But if you could get Munchie back, Adam, Munchie, and Ricky, honestly, that's the core Tuesday show. Lush is this hybrid affiliate, non-affiliate, biggest joint in LA, walking the streets, smoking whatever he could get his hands on type of person. So it's kind of hard for me to place him in that formula because he's an anomaly. But obviously the fans would riot if Lush wasn't on the Tuesday show. So you throw Lush in there as the fourth mic and cool. But the original formula, the archetypes was Adam. Adam's his own archetype. House Phone. House Phone was kind of Lush mixed with Ricky, where it's like a non-affiliate who's not all the way lame. House Phone, obviously, he's not a lame. He's more of a party animal type of non-affiliate, but you know, he doesn't bang a set and he talks somewhat proper. So people try to typecast those types of people, right? But you have that dynamic where that was the whole reason why you hired Ricky, is because he reminds the fans of House Phone in some capacity. So you mix him in there, and then you need someone like Brick Baby, like Munchie, AD is the original archetype of that, right? Where it's like, yeah, he's a street dude, he's respected. Nobody's really saying that he's not really from where he's from and stuff like that. You got your credibility, but you have the range to talk about more. You'll cover the topics that most street dudes stereotypically wouldn't cover on their podcast and things like that. Yeah, Lush is the mascot for sure. No Jumper without Lush is kind of crazy now. You know, Lush has had the greatest comeback in podcast history. It's not too many cases where somebody is fired, comes back and becomes the fan favorite and remains the fan favorite for what's going on a year now. I think he's getting close to 2 years of being the fan favorite, actually. Because even when Brick was there, Lush, low-key, once he sobered up just enough, because after they had the intervention episodes where they're like, Brick is always zooted and Lush is always on some type of gang drug, once they had that episode clarifying that, Lush has started to ascend to where like he's actually on a very consistent run. Even at his lowest moments where he becomes the hot topic of the week, he's still that guy. Like, people want to see Lush damn near every day, which is impressive. There's not that many podcasters out there that if you don't show up 5 out of 5 days of the week, the fans are low-key, you know, whenever Lush isn't there, it's like, man, I'm not watching the news without Lush. I'm not watching the news without Lush. He's the only one that I want to see. Like, that's impressive. Kudos to Lush. But yeah, the numbers being down, I think that's expected. Of course, the numbers of the first episode of The Change are going to be down. I don't think Adam expected anything different. I know I didn't expect anything different than for the numbers to be down a little bit. Especially, you're not going to try to follow it up with another confrontation. Even if you, like you guys said, it's like, you know, No Jumper's like watching baddies in a way. Facts. But even if you watch baddies, even if you watch Bad Girls Club or any of these variations of that formula, there's those episodes that lead up to the fight, or, you know, like the big fight, because there's always a couple little squabbles too. But after the big fight, the next episode's usually not going to be a record break. You're not going to break the record last week and break it again the following week. It's got to cool down for a little bit. It's a wave. Once that wave hits the peak, if you ever surfed or shout to Pot Lord, But if you ever surfed or used a bodyboard in the ocean, you know that you're kind of waiting and waiting and waiting for that feeling. You get a instinctual feeling that, oh, this wave is the one. The best surfers know which wave to take, because then if you take one that's gonna chop out too soon and shit, you're not gonna be able to do what you're trying to do. When you take the right wave, you get your tricks off, it comes down, you ride it out, and then you swim your ass back out there and wait for another good wave. It's not always, every wave's not gonna be the 6, 7, 8 foot wave that you can get all the tricks off on though. That's just how it is. That's how everything is in life. Everything is seasonal, everything is a wave. You can't expect just a life full of high points, a podcast full of nothing but highlights. That's not gonna happen every week. On no channel, nowhere is that the case. Everybody's number, everybody's graph is a wave. So I think the fans, you got to stall it out a little bit. There's people talking about, I'm leaving, I'm not watching this shit no more. Like it's like a performative outrage. It's performative outrage at this point. People just want to leave an angry comment. Y'all niggas been watching No Jumper for 15 years and shit, talking about I'm not watching this shit no more. Yes, you are. Y'all niggas done sat through multiple changes. Or are you gonna come back to watching it? We're watching for the bullshit. We can't be mad that some bullshit happened that entertained everybody, and then now it has a fallout. That's what we watching for. We watch because you never know what might happen. That's why the live aspect of No Jumper is what hits when it comes to that. Yeah, there's the interviews and stuff like that. That's its whole other entity. But I know for myself, I'll be watching every live stream, especially when there's conflict on the horizon, going into that Almighty Suspect versus Brandon joint. I knew, okay, if I already told y'all, I made sure my dogs and all that was put to bed early. I said, hey, look, I can't make dinner tonight. I'm sitting down, I'm watching on an empty stomach because I can't miss it. I'm screen recording this whole thing because the stream might get taken down. Somebody might just get shot today. And that's the energy, and they get right up to that line, and then they got to cut the cameras or whatever, defuse the situation. But niggas is watching because it's like a sport. I'm trying to see, oh shit, he going for 3 touchdowns today, huh? You can't miss that. You don't want to miss the 3 touchdown performance. But yeah, we're getting into now the closing content, which is Blueface answered like 3 or 4 days ago now. He answered another hardball question. I'm excited for this full interview because from every clip I've seen, it seems like Adam asked all the questions that people would want to know. He did the opposite of Doughboy with the Nick Cannon appearance and made sure to hit everything that people want to know, even if it makes Blueface mad. And that's what makes for a good interview, in my opinion. In certain cases, you know, you got to pick and choose when to do that. Yeah, I mean, some people watch for the hate watch, but you know damn well you entertained when there's a let's go outside and catch a fade. Even though I'm not encouraging violence or anything like that, that's the element that people have grown to like about No Jumper, even if it's just verbal confrontation. We like this reality TV-esque drama that No Jumper occasionally presents, but every episode can't be that, right? That's why Sharp he had his viral moments in his interviews that he did and organized with people, but Sharp on a live stream doesn't hit as hard as that because doing that Monday through Friday is not sustainable. You know what I'm saying? You can't go on there and yell at your fellow coworkers the same way you yell at the random girls you invited to get yelled at. You got to drop those, you know, once or twice a month. And then regular Sharp on the live stream, yeah, he had his moments where he's arguing with damn homie and stuff like that. But for the most part, he got to be a chill, more normal guy than he is on his interviews on game day. But when it's these, we'll call it the game time episodes of No Jumper, we all know when those are coming up. Yeah, it's perfect clip material. They're the OG clip farmers. Ever since the No Jumper show became the modern version of it, ever since Adam took the show from House Phone and Cam Girl, it became this clip machine. It's this never-ending content machine. And, it is what it is. But of course you can't, it's just like reality TV. They can't encourage violence for legal reasons. So they do everything to get people to argue. But as soon as they actually start squabbling, they got to blur it out. They got to move the camera over to the wall and things like that. But that's what draws people in. That's why Bad Girls Club is what it is. It's the classic franchise that Bad Girls Club became, is because you're going to watch these girls in this house that's damn near ran like a prison. They're going to be fighting over the microwave and shit. It works. It's good reality television. It's just this is reality TV blended with a podcast. So it's realer than reality television. And that's where it can become problematic when you start having reality TV type games with people that are in the street for real. That's when it's like, okay, look, hold on now. We don't want to see nobody lose their life behind this shit for real, or lose their freedom behind this podcast for real. We just want to be entertained. That line, they teeter the line though. All right. So, Blueface is answering some more hardball questions though. And this one I haven't watched. I've seen people have reacted to it. I'm a little late, but that's why we're going to get into the most recent clip as well after this one. And a little flashback to about a month ago, Adam and Wack show, when Wack was crashing out on the boxing trainer. Because it all ties together. Because Adam's going to ask if Aiden Ross has paid him and if Blueface will ever box again. So let's get into it.
Did anything change in your mind after the most recent brand risk fight? Because I feel like I haven't really seen you train in boxing.
Did anything change in your mind?
Oh, after my fight? Yes.
No, about the most recent
your fight.
brand risk. No, about their last event.
The one with Ray J and shit?
Because I remember you tried to say what my claims weren't valid, or
well, now I'm kind of realizing you actually watched the podcast, which is interesting.
Of course.
But
and so to see a cycle, a pattern, has your ideas changed about it?
Okay,
I hear a lot of commission talk.
What you and Ray J did was very different.
But me personally, no, it's not. My personal thing is all this commission talk that they do, bro, is false, brother.
You don't.
On a side note, Snoop with Pac said, like the new 607 Ankh and Jalise, I watched some of that last night. 607 put her on the spot. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to cover that on tonight's stream. Yeah. I'm catching up on the chat right now. It says you got to react on the new 607 Jalise podcast. I'm definitely going to watch that today as I'm doing my other stuff. And I'm going to pick the moments that I want to react to on tonight's stream. So I broke up some of my Wednesday topics because I can't be on here, honestly, past 9:30. So right now we're right on schedule to probably end by 9:15 to 9:30, somewhere in there. And then I'm going to get ready to, take my kids to the doctor and shit. But then after I do that, knock out some work and whatnot, I'm going to be listening to what I'm going to cover tonight while I'm working. And then we're going to fire up the Wednesday night stream and get into some more topics. And I think I'm going to roll out some more like popular topics as well from the bigger tabloids and bigger Instagram pages that cover hip hop, pop culture, and just overall celebrity shit, not just YouTube celebrity.
The commission is really in there, or they're sketchy?
I don't think that they're...
Bet that. Thanks for dropping by, Alan.
I don't think that that's a reason.
W dad activities. Snoop said he just dropped his son off to school. W active and present fatherhood.
For a lot of the things that they say it's the reason for.
Okay.
Right? So if you're saying, hey, we had this, but the commission wouldn't approve it. Okay. Did they really not approve it? Or is that you just putting something in front of your decision and the way that you want things to go.
Okay, so you're saying that like maybe Ruga getting rejected by the commission in terms of fighting
I knew
you.
that was a lie.
So you don't believe that? You think they just wanted to find a way to get you against somebody that was more of a challenge?
You think a commission would let a person that had a heart attack fight in a professional bout?
Well, when did Ray J actually have a heart attack?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I gotta let him answer that question. I don't know if he had a heart attack or if it was just beating too weak and he was having complications. But regardless, he has documented heart complications. So the what boxing commission is gonna allow that, especially since you know, if we're gonna be on the side of Blueface's argument for now. I remember Aiden Ross saying right before the most recent brand risk that was it was held in Vegas at the UFC Apex, right? And that was the most expensive brand risk that he's ever put on. And it was partially so expensive because the Nevada Boxing Commission was being very hard on them. They basically, you know, didn't want to actually do business with brand risk. They don't respect influencer boxing, from what it sounds like, right? Which is why the commission that works the best with brand risk has been the Tennessee. That's when they go there. I know Charleston White had to have one of his fights in Tennessee and stuff. And then certain ones in Florida, they have a decent working relationship with Florida. But they're a little hardball too. But Nevada really wasn't trying to do it. So they charged them, you know, when you really don't want to do something for somebody, like let's say you do junk removal and there's a hoarder, right? Obviously you're going to charge more for a hoarder in general. But let's say this hoarder has Confederate flags everywhere in their front lawn and you're a black man doing junk removal. You're probably going to tax them a little more than you would the regular white hoarder, right? The ones that don't have Confederate flags in their front yard. Because I really don't want to do this for you, so I'm going to charge you 3 times what I would usually charge. And it's kind of a fuck you price. Basically, Aiden was saying that the Nevada Commission was giving them an influencer boxing promotion, fuck you type of situation. But if that's the case, why would they let bleeding from the eyes, heart condition Ray J fight? That was always strange, for sure.
Does it matter?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people have raised that question, though.
Do you think that any commission would say, oh, okay, your heart's not very well. Well, go in here and fight.
Right. When I fought, I had to do a whole series of heart scans and everything like that. So I don't think I could have got away with having a fucked up heart during that, which apparently Ray J has.
No, I'm not saying the quality. I'm not saying it's not legit. I'm just saying there's a little manipulation going into the audience, you know?
Interesting.
So we're in this case, and in this case, maybe 2 different cases. It may be somebody saying 2 different things. Well, ultimately, you're saying, you know what I'm saying? You see what Aiden is saying, right? Aiden is saying
they're doing an investigation into the Ray J allegations. Okay, but the difference between you and Ray J is that you finish the fight and you say,
Bet that, Snoop. I'll try to hit you while I'm getting things ready for the show, for sure. And yeah, man, happy early Father's Day out there to all the fathers, man. I seen someone, where is it at? Someone said that they're waiting for their daughter. Sergio, that's fire. I can't wait till I can start going to the gym with my kids, or home gym. And I got a little home gym that's expanding every couple of months. So, you know, I'm really trying to make that a foundation of their upbringing is, you know, staying healthy. Health is wealth, man. Damn, somebody asked, is there a finals game today? There is. There is an NBA game on today. So that'll be an element of it. The scoreboard will be up, but we're going to be running reactions. We're running reactions, man. That's more so the focus of the night show. Because I'm not about to sit up here and be like, oh, so-and-so dribbles left, dribbles right. He shoots, he scores. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. Chick Hearn. I'm not Chick Hearn. But But yeah, I will give my opinions on the game every once in a while, but for the most part, we doing content.
Y'all are cheating. Ray J finishes the fight and says, I was trying to cheat, and this motherfucker fucked it up.
He never said any of that.
He said we had a plan.
Who was we?
Him and Super Hot Fire.
Did he just say him and Super Hot Fire, or did he say we?
He did say
we can't assume,
but
we means him and Super Hot Fire. We means come on, bro.
So you think him, Super Hot Fire, and Brand Risk together might have had a plan?
Any of that. All I'm saying is what he said. Shine some light onto what.
No, that's fire, Snoop. That's fire. And congratulations. I got a 6-month-old and a 1-year-old. One is some change, obviously.
But I said. Now, if you guys want to keep trying to manipulate it and individualize it and make it seem like this is, come on, bro.
Stu hard.
If the same conversation and allegation keeps coming from the same person throwing the shit, what are we talking about? Why are we trying to?
But I think Aiden Ross really wants to make Brand Risk this official ass thing, and I don't think he would take the risk of doing anything like that because it's going to get in the way of that.
I'm not saying he is. Don't get my words misconstrued. I'm not saying he's the mastermind to it. All I'm saying is he's not avoiding it, right? You're not gonna. Me personally, I'm not gonna throw an event and make a bet on the event,
right?
Or pick a side on my own event. That's
which
it is a bad look, and it's funny that these two are talking about it because when Adam had his fight at the press conference, Aiden said, waiting for the connection to come back. All right, looks like it's coming back. My bad if y'all went black screen for a second. Slight connection issue, but we good. But yeah, it's interesting for these two to have this opinion on this or this conversation because Aiden said, no, I'm not going to bet on Adam because that would be a bad look for me to bet on my own fight card. But, verbally I'm picking Adam. Bragging rights type of bet. But then you fast forward to Blueface's fight a few months later. In that build up to that fight, Aiden was pretty vocal about putting money on certain fighters. And that's kind of part of his contractual obligation with the gambling company that sponsors all of these Brand Risk events. The gambling company is who's paying these people. It's not Aiden Ross paying out of his pocket. He's partnered with an online casino that pays all the fighters on Brand Risk for their participation. He had to mediate between Adam 22 in the online casino to get Adam his money because they weren't sure if he threw the fight, so they didn't want to pay him. And he had to make a case for Adam for why he deserves to be paid still. And, basically the case was it was the most viral event that we've ever put on. His fight alone was the most viral thing. It was a huge draw, which it was. Everybody was watching that shit. Blueface was a huge draw as well, right? And everybody was watching that shit. But in the build-up, there was talks about I'm putting money on so-and-so. There was open bets made on the air. Bet 10K on it right now, Chibu or Blueface. Chibu was a streamer. He was kind of painted by some coverage on No Jumper as like he's been boxing and he's just like this Brand Risk boxer that he's just contracted to do that. No. Chibu has 100,000 Twitch subscribers, so he's a pretty big Twitch streamer. If you put that in perspective, right? That's a lot of subscribers on Twitch, 100K. And I've seen the 100K before the Blueface fight. I don't know what it is after it. It's probably more. But he's a full-time streamer who also trains boxing because he's taken it very serious in the last year. And now he's trying to shed some body fat so he could take it even more serious. Chibu been training like he's a professional boxer, but he wasn't just... He's not a Dean the Great. He's not someone who was into boxing first and then got into streaming. It's the other way around. He was streaming first and then got into boxing. All right. So that's just to clarify that. But Aiden and Chibu are more friends than Blueface and Aiden, obviously. So he was putting money on his friend. Plus, he knows his friend, really takes boxing serious and trains every day. It's not just highlight footage coming out of his camp. Like, he really does that shit. And he's a fleet of foot, quick, big dude, which in athletics, that's a tough matchup for anybody. When it's someone with a belly like that can move how he moves, you're an anomaly in sports, a specimen in your own right. So yeah, but Blueface having his suspicions is valid. The thing is, it's a bad look too, that the only people that have had a problem with brand risk, nobody outside of Jack100 related content creators and artists or whatever out of the 100 camp has had problems with brand risk. They're the only ones that have had problems with the judges or saying, oh, this was corrupt, this and that. So it looks like a smear campaign on the 100 ENT side in a way, to where they're probably not going to do business with brand risk anymore. And the motive behind such thing, if true, it's just allegations, it's just my opinion. But if true, is that obviously Wack has nothing but sports. He's put on some I think one pretty big fight card where a lot of streamers were there streaming and stuff. And you see the Nothing But Sports logo all over the ring. He was a big sponsor at Clarissa Shields' most recent fight. And on that fight card. And he's getting some decent names on his platform already. So there's Misfits Boxing and there's Brand Risk are kind of the two biggest influencer boxing avenues. And then Wax Nothing But Sports shit is kind of popping up like the third option that's trying to, come into the game. He had like professional fights as well. I think more so than celebrity boxing matches. But I wouldn't be surprised if he mixes in some influencer boxing. So he's kind of stepping on the toes of a Brand Risk and kind of try to Trojan horse him is what it looks like to me. Like, all right, well, you're the competition. He's treating it like he's the new dealer on the block. You got to get the other dudes that's dealing in these areas out of here first. You got to eliminate the competition one way or another. And he's kind of approaching it with that same mentality is what it looks like to me. Just evaluating the moves from a distance. You get Adam in there, big event, but he didn't throw a punch. But Brand Risk, you establish a good relationship. But all the clips, aside from the actual fight, was, Wack getting into it with the second in command at Brand Risk. Wack getting treated like a nobody as they give Neon special treatment. But in their world, Neon is an A-list celebrity in the streaming world. He's the top of the crop. He's one of the best, most viewed streamers. Now I want to say the best, but he's one of the most viewed streamers in the whole world. So of course they're gonna prioritize him getting to his seat before Wack, even though your fighter is headlining the event, right? But you have all those controversies that Wack went through with Brand Risk. And then you follow up that with now the Ray J controversy, where you're saying I had no clue of that. I would have never signed up on the heart issue nigga to go up there and box. So now you got the trifecta of you kind of infiltrating their infrastructure and trying to find out as much about it as you can from directly, playing ball with them. And then going over to your court and trying to start your own rival version of it. The motive is right in front of our face. He wants to take some of that audience over to his stuff, to his platform, on his Roku app and whatnot, right? And, business is business. People do this all the time in business. There's nothing illegal about it. But now it's like now you playing bully ball at the same time as you have multiple people now bringing up the legality of things and like how did Ray J get approved? Blueface still feels like, you know, he got finessed for the interest of betting, especially since that went to the judges. Since the decision went to the judges, it's easier to say it was rigged. And on top of that, though, to be fair, boxing has long been known, pretty much for my entire life, has been known as the most corrupt sport in all of the sports, all the major sports. It's ran by corruption, it's ran by mobs and stuff like that, allegedly. So that's the perfect avenue to get in to play dirty and scam and finesse.
Aiden did. Although it was for a pretty trivial amount of money, right? Like 10 grand or something.
20?
20, yeah.
Plus, he tried to bet somebody 180.
Whoa. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot that's like, it's just a lot of loose ends, you know? If you're trying to make a brand a big thing to where motherfuckers don't question the credentials of it, you can't be the reason, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not finna, I just don't understand.
All right, let's get to the question. Let's get to the question at hand, though.
You know, they're doing their you know, business. This is business, bro. It's just common sense, bro. That don't make sense.
I don't want to skip it.
Did
but
you
I'm
get
trying to
paid for
hurry
that
up.
fight?
There we go.
Nope.
Nothing.
Makes
Run
sense.
it back with me.
Did you
not
get
talking.
paid for that fight?
Business. This is business, bro. It's just common sense, bro. That don't make sense.
Did you get paid for that fight?
Nope.
Nothing.
Still hasn't came to me.
Are you guys going back and forth?
Yeah, you know, they're doing their negotiating and whatnot, but
okay.
Here it is, another event, bro. I'm telling you, bro. When you don't do things correctly from jump, it's a downhill effect.
Do you think you fucked up by not putting the Rainbow logo on your shorts, which they claim you were supposed to?
No.
That's a relevant part of it?
That's not even Blueface's responsibility. You know, Wack hopped on the Adam and Wack show and was very proud and happy right before the fight about the Blueface shorts. He made sure to let everybody know that he picked them up from the company that does that type of stuff. And was like, man, you got to see these shorts. Them shits is fire, Adam. You gonna see. I think he did Adam shorts as well. So for that to get missed, that's kind of Wack's fault. But then on top of that, though, on the flip side, you would think that they noticed before. I don't know how good what's it called, brand risk is QC process is, but you would think they would at least noticed before the fight, not the day of, like maybe the day before he got out there, pretty like 2-3 days before, because there's a lot of media leading up to it, and they could have been like, oh yeah, like you got to make sure the patch is on there because that's the main sponsor, that's who's signing your check. But apparently it was missed by multiple channels. So that's kind of on everybody involved, not just on Wack. It's on him too. Especially since this was your second rodeo. It wasn't even your first rodeo. And you made Adam shorts too. So I don't know how it went through multiple channels and got missed. That's a bad look.
That's maybe a reason for a deduction.
Okay.
Maybe a fine.
Right.
That's not a reason not to pay, or else you shouldn't let a motherfucker even enter the building if it's that serious, right?
I mean, I guess from their perspective, it's actually probably good because then they can just say, hey, we're not going to pay you after the fact. Like, I don't know if brand risk would agree, but.
Exactly, but listen to how that sounds. That sounds like finesse, right? That sounds like shiesty business, right?
Well, it would have been hard to add the Rainbow logo at the last minute, too.
Yeah, I agree with that, Snoop. I think Adam is leaving a lot of money on the table by not having his own boxing promotion or partnering with Wack to put No Jumper Boxing on Wack's Nothing But Sports. Maybe he's planning it out and he's gonna roll it out, but as far as just the network of potential fighters that he has, I agree with what you're saying in the chat. But so now they're just talking about rain bet and stuff. He said he confirmed that he wasn't paid though, right? Did I miss it?
Do things correctly from just nope.
Nothing.
Okay, yeah. He
if
confirmed.
You know, business. This is business, bro. It's just common sense, bro. That would make sense.
Did you get paid for that fight?
Nope.
Nothing.
Still hasn't came to me.
So that's crazy and a bad look because this right here. I think it's queued up perfectly. Let's see.
About 12,000? 12,000 for me is chump change. I shit that out. So why you crying about it? 2 months of that. 2 months about it. I'm not. It's the principle. Ain't no principle. Hey, listen, nigga, you ain't bigger than the program. F you. I paid the attorneys so you, me, and Blueface could get paid. F you.
Right after that little outburst right there, at some point, he then clarifies that he paid $52,000 in legal fees. So I would assume that they're at least gonna make $100,000 from the fight, but I think they laughed at the idea of $100,000. So Blueface was supposed to make even more than that. And you know, I've never dealt with boxing promotions or none of that stuff myself, but if the boxing video game Undisputed is any bit accurate with how fight camps go, you pay for the fight camp up front, knowing that you're gonna make the money back when you get paid for the fight. So off of saying you gonna get paid when I get paid, that's bad business, as we went over already before. That's Mickey and Tricky, janky, all that. Because from my understanding, the trainer, the medical staff and all that, the corner, they get paid before the fight takes place. Especially the training though. Because even if you get hurt on the last day of training camp, that's just money you lose. You have to plan for that as a business. And the fight gets canceled, if your opponent cancels the fight, whatever, you still used the trainer's time and resources. So you have to pay them regardless of the outcome of the fight, regardless of the promotion is dragging their feet on paying you because you went on a lightweight smear campaign after the fight. Regardless of all that stuff, that don't got nothing to do with the trainer. Don't got nothing to do with them. That's like telling the mechanic, well, shit, yeah, you just did a tune-up and changed my tires, the oil, this, that, and the third. I done ran up a $10,000 bill of repairs, but motherfucker, my car just got repoed. I ain't paying you shit. Like, what? That's not the mechanic's fault. That's not the mechanic's fault. He still lubed your transmission. All right? You got to pay him. You got to pay him even if you don't have that car anymore. They really won't even let you leave without doing that. But, you know, with this type of thing, when you're talking about boxing, it's different. And, you know, the trainer, in the same episode of the I'm Wack show from 4 weeks ago, Wack tried to say Blueface don't even rock with the trainer like that. I think he's going to speak on that in this next clip. But I know for a fact, because I clipped it up when I was covering the boxing debacle that took place, I know for a 100% fact that the trainer was basically Blueface's right-hand guy in Miami. You know, Blueface is a streamer as well. And he was streaming after the fight party festivities, and the trainer was right there at all the festivities. A lot of coaches, they're going to keep that boundary of, no, I'm the coach and you're the player. I don't need to be hanging out with the players outside of training them. You know, but they were friends. They're at the club together getting girls. The trainer had a girl on his lap in the black truck, and Blueface had a girl on his lap in the black truck, type of shit. They got clips like that floating around. So they was partying up together. I don't think he was too upset, like Wack kind of painted it, about the whole some guy came in there with a knife when Blueface was training, and he tried to say that the David guy didn't do nothing about it or whatever, and that's why Blueface don't like you. The post-fight partying was after the training incident with the knife. And they seem like really good friends to me from the clips that I seen. So, I don't know. I feel like, you know, once Wack decides he's against you, there's no narrative that he's not willing to push as long as it's somewhat believable. But for the people that actually watch, these people that he's talking about and pushing narratives on, you could easily see when it's bullshit. And I feel like that narrative was bullshit. I could be wrong. I haven't watched this clip yet. And I don't even know if Blueface is gonna mention if he is friends with the trainer or not. Or if he hates him now because he didn't do nothing when the dude was in there cutting up boxing bags. But let's see.
How do you feel about like losing weight since you got out?
I think it looks better for my face, personally.
Yeah.
This looks better in my face. So it's a give and take.
In fact, someone in the chat said Blue slept on Chibu. That's a fact. I called it early when I was doing videos leading up to the event, and when I was doing my brand risk live stream. Or did I don't know if I did this one as a live stream, but I know I called it. I said Blueface is gonna lose to Chibu. I knew as soon as they made the match because I watched Chibu, and I'm a pretty big combat sports fan. I don't watch as much UFC as I would like, but I'm watching this Sunday. On a side note, but I watch a lot of boxing over my life, especially my childhood. That's what had me addicted to going to school and catching fades, was watching Floyd and all them. All right, so I knew from what I seen Chibu demonstrate that he's gonna give Blueface problems, and it's not gonna be the blowout of a loss for Chibu that people thought it was gonna be. We've seen Blueface; he has boxing chops too. That's the thing. When people take these losses in public settings like this, everyone wants to act like like the person that lost is just ass and can't fight, and anybody in the street could whoop him. Blueface would still whoop a lot of people with the boxing skill that he does have. He just fought very defensively. I think once he felt Chibu's power, similar to when K-Mac the Great was. I thought K-Mac was gonna go to sleep because Ruger was throwing bricks. All right, Ruger was winding that shit up and clocking that boy. And once you feel that type of power, that does change people's approach to a fight a lot. And that's what I think happened with the Blueface shit, because he was super defensive after getting hit a couple times.
You know,
you felt a little less tough though.
Nah, hell no. I went to jail, but skinnier than this. So
right. Well, like when I first seen you after getting all that weight, it's just like, oh, like you look like Rampage or some shit. Like, wow, you could beat a motherfucker up for real now.
I love the physique of it, but I didn't like my face. So it's just I gotta give or take my face is.
No, that's a fair point. Even though we're gonna fast forward, having a fat face is a bad look. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt your brand. The ladies want to be able to see some jaw definition and shit. You can't be out here double chinned up just to feel like a bully.
And I'm like, damn, bro, you look like
the Incredible Hulk for a little while there.
Yeah, it was like my
argument that Wack got into with your boxing trainer at the time, David Kaminsky, where there was an argument about money and stuff. Wack didn't want to pay him because he felt like he didn't get paid yet, so why would he pay him?
I think he could have paid him.
He told me he was going to pay him after that, so I think he probably did.
Yeah, he probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's just feelings or ego. I don't know what's me personally. I'm gonna just get a motherfucker out the way. Like if it's something to where it's not gonna hurt me too bad to shut him up. And take this shit, like, you know.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know the conversation they really had, you know.
Yeah.
To where if maybe Wack might have felt like David was like too enforceful about the money, you know. And so I haven't got paid, but hold on, like, you know, you can't trip on him up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna acknowledge Brother Jumby. Shout out to Jumby with the super chat, man. Good to see you in the chat. Jumby said, I wake up every night at 11 p.m. and pray goofy ass Aiden invites me to put belt to face to a rapper or influencer, get the likes up for the homie. Shout out to Jumby. I appreciate it, man. And hey, man, maybe we need to start a Jumby on a brand risk campaign. Jumby's a elite striker. You gotta be, right? We've seen the resume when we ran down the Brandon situation. And he's a UFC striking specialist of a coach, right? I seen a clip of Jumby training Vic Mensa. That was fire. That's a good look for Jumby. Maybe Jumby can parlay that into a brand risk appearance of his own. That would be amazing. I would love to see Jumby get some shine like that. So you know, when they're looking for new fighters and whatnot, and they're looking to go a more professional route too, I think as a community we should push for that. We should push for that, man. But yeah, I am gonna wrap it up here. You guys heard right there though. Blueface, he does a very good job in this interview at letting it know when he disagrees with something Wack says or does, without disrespecting Wack in their working relationship that they have, right? And he said it right there, like, you know, I like to just get people taken care of right away. Basically, I like to do good business. He referred to himself in a different portion of this interview as the good cop versus Wack being the bad cop, right? So with that dynamic, it makes sense that Blueface would advocate good business, but then he also understands the value of having an ignorant dude like Wack, who's not afraid to get ignorant and get some yelling off, get up in people's faces, and do some bad business. And that together in Blueface's world and mine brings balance. That's what I read from the situation, right? But you know, I am gonna have to do kind of an abrupt ending today. Unfortunately, we are damn near at 4 hours of a stream. Shout out to that. I didn't think I was gonna be on. I thought I was gonna do a 2-hour joint. I'm not gonna lie, but we got more topics for the night show. I might get through more of this clip to start off the night show. I might not. And I'm definitely gonna try to get some more topics into the lineup before we go live around 5 o'clock, 5:30. I'm gonna try to go live before the tip off, so I can give my pregame opinions and maybe knock out a clip or two before the game. And then, of course, all throughout the game, I'm gonna be reacting to content while occasionally acknowledging the game. So if you're able to join at night, go ahead and join up on the live stream tonight as well. If you're not, I understand. Catch the replay or whatever. And speaking of replay, if you guys can, leave the likes and comments in the comment section when this is available as a video as well. And of course, I'm gonna try to clip up the topics and drop them as individual videos for the general audience that is used to me just dropping videos. But yeah, I gotta get ready to take my kids to do, you know, father activities and whatnot. And thank you for joining the live stream. Thank you for all the chats. Let me make sure I acknowledge all the fan funding, actually. Let me switch over before we dip, because I probably missed something. Or, okay, I caught them while it was happening, like cleaning when you cook. Shout out to everybody that did gifteds and super chats and whatnot. And shout out to all the regular chatters and whatnot. This channel wouldn't be the same without y'all support. So I appreciate each and every one of you truly. And until tonight, peace.